I don't know if you guys noticed in the meeting. So I don't. Maybe you guys can explain what happened. But Dan Singjoy made a really fun background, and
It's
then
expected,
Eric,
Dan. It's expected, yeah.
and then Eric did a meta
It's the
fabulous
alien world.
move, and it was super funny.
No,
Well,
it's in homage to Alien World, the new Fractal.
but that's not what Josh was talking about, though, Patrick. Josh was talking about first. It was actually first Mike Manfredi did it with Dan Larimer in his background, and then
No.
Eric did it with him and Mike, and then I did it with Eric, and then Eric did it
And
with
Pascal
me and
was
all
in a
four of us.
television
Pas-
in a box.
Yeah.
Yes, he
Pascal in
was.
TV. That's funny. Yeah, Pascal in TV was cool too. Yes.
I have appreciated the VR headset chaque rose. That was
Have you received
point.
it?
the VR experience during that was great.
Just,
Ah.
I just want to say real quick, by the way, I don't mean to interrupt, but I just started recording just like a minute ago. I stopped the other one, but I figured we were having fun conversations, so I just want to let people know because it doesn't say it up there, and I hope that's cool with everybody. But anyway, because we have all these cool visuals and cool talk, that I figured it'd be helpful. But please continue, or let me know if you think anything should be different.
Yeah. Well, now we look a lot better. You know, with these backgrounds. Yeah, it's just beautiful to look at and record it. Yeah. Yeah, Mark. That's
You
awesome.
have recorded something. Wow.
Yeah, recording now, and yeah, I mean, if you think about somebody who's joining for the first time, like if they come and everybody's got like these cool backgrounds and bunnies jumping around the outer space, like that's a pretty funny first impression.
excuse me.
And there's a cat, there's a giant. Hey, Mark, you better watch out
I'm
for the
in the
giant
rabbit
cat.
hole. Join me in the rabbit hole.
Rabbit in the space.
Oh, us rabbits go down the rabbit hole of fractal governance too. You know.
Oh wow! Yeah.
Aye.
Wow.
Mark, you are in United States. You're the new president.
Yeah, there's some background music there in the back that lingers with this image. I just
It's
had
crazy.
play it.
Yeah, baby, it's crazy.
I can't hear the music, and thanks, Felix, and I love the community too as well, and great seeing you. But
Oh, thank you, Felix. Yeah. See
It's
you.
your,
See you.
typical drum cadence and march in any kind of like nationalistic parade. You know, bum, brrrr,
Please, Andrew,
Okay.
stop with this background.
for our dear leader, giant cat.
Sorry about that.
I'm not
Yeah,
able to hear the
the
drums,
head,
by the way.
Ah,
wow, nice math.
nine, Doggy Zorro.
Who is this now? I couldn't tell for a second.
Listen, I have this belief that every superhero has to have a costume because they can't be a hero in real life. It's too incredible. You have to escape to the realm of fiction.
Fact.
That's turned totally Avatar. This. So you have a fun today. That was fun. Yeah. That was really fun.
Yeah, it was really fun. I appreciate Chakruza's insights about the fun. That was very inspiring, and I agree that like there's a lot of explore. I mean, of course, we're doing like work that is serious to some extent, and it's important to focus on that as Doug shows up as a pirate.
Albator now.
But making it fun is like super important. I completely agree, and also like the suggestion to do cool background visuals and all sorts of stuff like that. I feel like that there's a lot of great stuff to experiment with and play with that. Oh, okay.
That was scary because I saw Dancing Joy into the same background with Daniel Larimer. And that was like scary. Okay.
Yeah, it got pretty meta there. That was inspired by Mike and Eric, and yeah, Joshua said he had to go. I'm the host now, according to Zoom. If anybody else would like to be the co-host or anything like that, then feel free to let me know.
My sister is in law, is hosting her birthday at our house today, so I need to step away and make an appearance for that. Dancing Joy is the host. See you, fellas, next week.
See you.
Okay.
See you, Patrick.
Oh, Shakru's going? Too?
No, it's not me. I was reading the message of Joshua. I have no sister myself. I have a cat. So,
Well, Mark has a cat too, or maybe the cat has Mark. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the power dynamic is right now, based on the sizes of their bodies.
Cruz and me, we are very aligned, very aligned. It's beautiful. No.
Doug's got his VR goggles on.
Yeah, I can't afford
Oh,
an Oculus
no.
2, so I'm just emulating right now. I'm in a virtual world.
You are into the virtual world. Yes.
Yeah, well, as long as you're wearing the virtual VR headset and you believe that you're in the virtual world, then I believe that you're actually there. Is how it works.
I believe that he don't believe that he is in metaverse. No, okay.
What is going on?
I love the subject that we have chosen to discuss here. This is great.
Yeah,
Which subject?
that's Web 5.
That-
That's Web 5. It's not Web 3. It's Web 5. So that's just.
Yeah. By the way, it would be great to have like a subject on top of here. Like, what is the current subject? And somebody like the host could be updating the subject. So just a little.
Make a roadmap.
Do you mean in the UI?
You could do that
UI,
pretty
yeah.
easily with StreamYard right now, but I don't know of an easier way than StreamYard at the moment, like titling and pulling in comments. I know you could do
I
a lot.
just did it with my name.
Yeah, but that's not really the same.
It doesn't
as,
show up that
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
I mean,
'Cause
Yeah,
it's-
maybe like an OBS layers with the images. And like,
yeah,
or
anyway,
text, it's not-
anybody can do that. Like in my background, I could put text up if I wanted, like how I share my presentations and stuff. And anybody could do
Wow.
that. It would also, so that might be a good thing to experiment with. And then eventually in the UI,
Yeah,
having
yeah.
where like the community can vote with respect or something like that, maybe in some way that's like community driven. That might be really cool as well.
Can you like put some text like make a
Like
text,
what, for example?
This,
like fun time, like after
Be
party.
careful to the text. Huh?
well,
Like,
I would have to bring something up. Like I'm able to go to like.
Practically the subject. Everybody go.
yeah.
Well,
like-
you know, the real simple thing
subject.
to realize is all this is what's considered open captioning. It is embedded in the video. What I think is preferred is closed captioning that is actually part of the metadata. Because right now, all this stuff won't show up as text in an indexable search. Whereas if there's a way where segments of videos could be titled, it's just like chaptering in a YouTube video. You know, it's no different to where it's being pushed out more than just through a WebP or an MP4 stream, where there's actually metadata attached to make the videos discoverable. Otherwise, you get all these videos that don't have any. There's no viewers to find the content because there's no way to find it. Too many hours. Our team alone has generated too much. You know, that isn't being disseminated.
Yeah, and our team has started working on cataloging these search engine optimization standards. So, Doug, you saying it now is perfect timing for Dan Singjoy.
Because, you know, we have a real opportunity if we worked collaboratively from an SEO standpoint. Like if everyone had a strategy to keep track of their metrics and what they do and how to help each other, it's sort of like we can gain back control of what big data and machine learning has over us by creating a mini model of how to do it better. It's the way I look at it. And right now I see us building on a lot of other existing tool sets, not sort of really thinking about what's the best way and how do we innovate in an open source world, you know. And that's why I appreciate people like Jacques Cruz, who introduced me to Jitsi, you know, and just all these different kinds of things, because it's sort of like,
Jitsi, yeah.
well, I'm not saying it's the best way. I'm just saying that I want to
I use that here.
I just
in
want to know
Switzerland.
what all the existing options are, and then sort of like break the box too, like innovate, you know. And so
Yeah.
the easiest way for me to learn is just looking at whatever other people have done, and that's sort of what I've really been enjoying.
You know what? Here in Switzerland, the responsible of the data has said we don't should use Zoom anymore. So we are all encouraged to use a communication tool based on WebRTC, Jitsi, all hosted into the Swiss Alps in data centers. And we have a lot of Chinese coming in Switzerland to have their data securized into the Swiss Alps in former military data bunker. In former military bunker. That's the place to go if you want to have your data very in security. Not in US for sure, but in Switzerland. Because why? Because Switzerland is a ball that will never die. That's the only country that will always resist to all the wars. So
Cool.
Well, hopefully all the countries will.
That's
with-
the truth.
with fractal governance.
Switzerland cannot be involved into war. Also, if they would, that could not happen. So that will always stay a bubble, always. So, and it's scary, and at the same time, for some people, it's oh, we are in security in Switzerland, nothing happened. For the old generation, it's like that will never be destroyed, and for the younger generation, we see that very scary for sure. That's a scary world. We are in a system. The entire world is in a system, but Switzerland at most, I would say. And now with the new president in Colombia, the new president of Colombia, Petro, it's a former guerrero. So and he loves Bitcoin. That's the good news. He loves Bitcoin. So Colombia will be more involved into Bitcoin. Nice. We'll see. So we are going on Mars. We'll see.
Who wants to join a flat Earth fractally?
Elon Musk doesn't want to go with Twitter, huh?
I'm in, man. Absolutely. I would not join a flat Earth.
Who is a ball earther here?
Ball Earther. Globe
Well,
Earther.
if I'm a flat earther, then you gotta be the ball earther.
I'm a hollow earther. You know about the hollow earth?
Speaking of Earther, not to sidetrack too much if you want to keep talking about that, but Alien Worlds, I'd be interested to hear from Dwayne if Dwayne would like to share any like reflections from starting and hosting the Alien Worlds Fractal. I think that'd be really helpful for everybody to hear.
I have lost this fractal alien world. I was not able to join. I was disappointed. There is too much things. I was not able to be an hologram of myself. That was not possible. So.
And no NFTs, no free NFTs.
Well, not for Patrick. I got some free NFTs. So I joined, and it happens every week. I think so. There's more NFTs, and Patrick maybe hopefully can join next week or in future weeks.
Yeah, I don't know. I will miss 1 month the Fractally meeting, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here it's 8 p.m. in my night. Like Lenny was leaving. He was leaving because it's past 8:30 to me here in Switzerland.
Right.
The hour is not great for us in Europe and in Ukraine or something like that. That's not the good time for us to be into those meeting. But I think I am an exception. I am always here.
Patrick, do you are you in a city or in the suburbs? Do you have a lake?
Oh yes, I have a lake. Yeah.
Well, real Swiss lake, is it? Mountains? Do you have mountains?
Yeah, clear. We have mountains. We have lakes. We have river. We have beautiful country, Switzerland.
How did you get there?
I don't know myself.
Okay.
I don't know myself. I was born in Switzerland. I should be born in Colombia.
Why?
And
cocaine?
I am born in Switzerland. That's like that.
Yeah, there is no cocaine in Colombia, so it's more fun.
I would be, if I could choose, I would reborn again and be born in Colombia.
Oh, why?
My wife is from Colombia. I love Colombia. I was already 6 times in 15 years in Colombia.
Oh.
I love Colombia. So if I can move there soon, but not for life, maybe for 4 months, 5 months per year.
Nice.
I will see.
You have kids?
No.
Not yet?
Never.
Planning?
No.
Little Colombians?
No.
No? Why?
You want we speak our life here, or we stay in Fractally?
It's after party.
No, it's not my plan to have kids. No.
What is it like?
Because I am an egoist.
Egoist? Wow.
Yeah, because I think only to myself. I have a lot of to do with myself. I have no time for kids. But I say the truth.
I
have
wish
no
I was
time.
egoist. Yeah, I wish I was
You can
egoist.
disagree, no problem.
No, I wish I was, but I wasn't egoist.
You will agree. Okay.
I didn't understand at that time when I was young that it is
I am not young.
gonna
I
change.
seems to be young, but I am not so
Yeah.
young.
Yes.
And I don't want kids. It's like that.
Mm.
That was always clear for me. I will never have kids.
Hmm.
I think
I
that
have a lot of
this.
to do with myself and with my wife. It's enough. I have no time for, and I am always developing. I have no time to be busy with kids, but I love the kids.
So, I think that this discussion about kids and Patrick's personal life and life in Switzerland is very interesting.
Yeah,
I think it probably most
Chakros, if you want, we
valuable.
can do a personal
Yeah,
chat.
Yeah,
Kid
yeah,
chat,
yeah.
a
Well,
kid chat.
maybe
let's-
interview with
kid.
Shakuz and Patrick most
Okay.
helpful. I think
Yeah, interview me in the next workshop. The special
Yes.
life of Patrick Bernard Schmid.
Beautiful.
No crypto.
And we
Every
can
week
make a
I'm
book,
trying
too.
to make. Yeah, every week I'm
And then-
trying to make it. But
No, Chakros
Cool,
seems very
sounds good.
emotional.
and
Because
and I think that probably the most valuable for this group is probably to focus on the new fractal that just joined with Dwayne, because Dwayne's here and he started
Yeah,
fractal,
I
like
will
the
hear
third
to that. I
fractal.
will
So
hear
I
to
yes,
I,
please,
I
I
think that'd probably be most helpful.
Be focus, huh? Be focus, Chakros. Focus. So,
Well,
so Diane, explain us. Yeah.
I've been saying I wanted to start a fractal, just like I'm repeating myself, like a big group. But I realized that the 20 people I invited to the Genesis Fractally haven't been attending. So I was really happy to see that they all came out to this, this first meeting. I think it was a success, but I do need. All right, so the rewards that we sent out are on wax, and I've set a precedent now to send out NFTs, a brand new token on wax called Fractal to kind of keep track, so we can integrate with Fractally once their system's out. Sent out Crown and Trillium, and I need some help in a more automated tool if we're starting to grow. Like if it starts becoming as big as the Go Fractally group, like 36 people, that time alone just to send things out is going to be, it's going to be a little bit too much. So right now it'll be fine. The one cool gamification I'm putting on there is I'm supporting Crown just because it's been there. We've never been a token that had much value. But there's a new tool that I can use to back NFTs. So it's not going to be ready this next Thursday, but the following Thursday, your attendance NFT is going to be backed with so much Crown. And I don't imagine too many people to burn it and get the Crown. It's going to be worth $3-4. But when you go and combine them, when you go and what's the word I'm thinking of?
Blend.
Not craft. Blend is the word I'm trying to think.
Right.
So when you blend an NFT, it burns it. So when you blend or burn for these NFTs, you don't have that Crown available anymore. It goes back to the where you're blending it to that author. So I'm going to use a blending strategy to blend that, then to get one attendance saying, hey, I've attended 4 meetings. I now have this attendee NFT that's backed with Trillium. So it's going to be worth now $20 or something. And then you're going to take 3 of those. And what I'm trying to get at is if someone goes through a whole 3 months and goes to 12 meetings, you're going to have something backed by something a little bit more stable. And what you're going to blend those 3 Trillium backed NFTs is a NFT backed by silver. And I think that's kind of my motive in this whole thing, is to bring some weighted token weight that actually won't go up and down with the market and introduce it to this community, so that if you wanted to cash in that actual NFT, you have a piece of silver in Sunshine Vault in Vegas. So something that's, I shouldn't say it's a stable coin because it's just backed by the price of silver, but trying to put that precedent in what's an hour of your time worth, right? So kind of using those 3 steps of crown to trillium to the silver token, and asking these groups. I put in a worker proposal to crown to say, hey, lend some crown to this governance experience. So the custodians will be, voting on that, and they're always up for a new experiment. I just put in a galactic hub grant in Alien Worlds for 100,000 trillium. So they get back to me in 2-3 weeks. So the reason I jumped on this right away is I want to show them that this is worthwhile to fund. So I'm putting up these funds myself just to prime the pump. But I think having that extra token backed by silver might give us, hopefully kind of raise some eyebrows in the community, get some more people involved. And we're really beating the devs over at Alien Worlds at their governance, whole structure. So we'll see who it draws out. I think it's going to get more challenging as time goes on. Right now, everyone knew about governance, even if not fractal governance, everyone was willing to participate. But if we just have some people jumping in just to extract some value, get NFTs, it's going to get interesting. And I think what I want to leave this with is just more of a lessons learned. So I'll do some videos to see how we can, how you can start your own fractal, how once the UI's, up, so that we can give some more lessons learned, and that we could really change. We can change anything. We can change the rules, right? And the first rule we kind of changed was the whole levels. Instead of giving people, a level of 6 to 1, we started that the top person is always mythical, and then legendary and rare and epic, and that was kind of a fun play into the whole rarity in wax NFTs. I wanted to start with metaverses and Alien Worlds just being part of a small one group in a metaverse, but the structure of groups, I just thought this was the most appropriate, because if this is successful, there's probably a dozen different groups and tribes that are contributing to Alien Worlds, so they could set up their own tribes. Why Alien Worlds? Shaw Cruz, you were telling me about your experience in Farmer's World, and it seems like that kind of core team maybe did a little bit of a rug pull. I'm not too sure if people are that excited about Alien Worlds anymore, especially the people extracting value based on the whole market coming down with price. But I do know that these metaverses need us. They need other people to start having some activity on their chain. So, in our just short dialogue with Shaq Cruz in our group, I kind of see a world where anybody's project that's kind of not existent, that we're all stuck with their NFTs, that we could build. It's open source, and these groups want us to build on their framework. So we could start a whole new world. So it's beautiful. We don't need millions of dollars like all these games have had to raise, and tons of devs to keep their game going. We could just put a layer on top, whether it's like a farming world on Aliens Worlds or just these other experiments. So hopefully this will bring out the community that's already active in Alien Worlds and start thinking about things like this, going, hey, if we're invested in this game, are we going to leave it to the devs and their core group to keep this going? Do we have enough devs in here? Is there enough interest? Is there enough collaboration between other wax collections that we can build something else? I see some other groups, the Uplift group and Corey, have a game on top of Minecraft, and they really got all the EOS and wax community excited to build things in this Minecraft world. And they've finally got rid of their kind of centralized company they were working with and started a DAO. But they're going to go down the same way every other DAO's gone, is that it's token-weighted votes. And we won't feel that we have any equity as just a player if one person has all the votes. So I can see, hopefully, this is going to be an inspiration to other people to try out this Fractally process. And yeah, like Dan was saying, the gaming is a big thing. If we can just show that this is working for our community, hopefully we can attract other groups. And Dan, you were talking about, hey, this game has good graphics. No, not at all. That's not this game. This Alien Worlds is like just a really click and forget it kind of game. And so they've kind of started to integrate and have a uh, invested lots to work with this uplift world to put more of a graphical 3D environment over it. But I have a lot of land over there and would like to activate something over there, but I'm not going to learn how to be a Minecraft player, right? I'm more going to come in to that community and do the same thing, going, hey, uplift. There are thousands of installs of different cool graphical things going on, but there's nowhere for me to find it. I want to see a directory of who's doing what. And maybe we could just have utilize Go Fractally as just a different interface for, hey, this is where my build is. Here's a directory. And these are the people that have come towards a meeting that I can see who are the real people participating in that world. So a lot of thoughts there, but I appreciate some help if we start becoming successful, especially for the devs. I'm looking at Shot Cruise and and see if we can see what the our goals are of what success is, of how many people join, to then start building tools to kind of automate this process. Because if we were successful and the Wax community starts using this, we're going to need some automated tools just to reward people.
Cool. Thanks so much, Dwayne. I don't know if anybody has. I see Mark has a question. I wrote out like 5 or 6 things that I wanted to say or ask you about or provide as potential options that I'm very excited to discuss. And I just want to say thanks so much, Dwayne. This is amazing. You've also been doing much more than I realized between like requesting the funding and stuff, and you've thought about this a lot. So that's amazing. I see lots of people have their hands raised, so I guess I will save my stuff for later. And then if Mark wants to go first, then that'd be cool.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, this is something I'm familiar with, but I never really made the connection, and I think that's for good purposes. Wherein right now it's timely that I suggest, hey, send me an invite, please. Would love to join you on Thursday. I think it's 09. It's I think it's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I think it's 1400 UTC.
I think it's 1600. It's 16 UTC, isn't it?
Well, either way, I'd like an invite so it's very clear, and that way I can move to that, add to calendars, put that in my whole weekly, and then support, because I don't have that much to contribute, but I love Alien Worlds and the idea, and of course you, Dwayne, with being a member of our ETF. Like I said, it's very timely. Yeah, I'd like to be able to move into that Thursday meeting at minimum.
Sounds great. And just to clarify, Dwayne, it is at 16 UTC on Thursday, right? 'Cause that's what I've been saying, but I want to make sure
Yeah.
I'm not. Okay, cool.
100%.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. And yeah, thanks so much, Mark. I'll just provide just quickly my experience. I joined for on Thursday, the first one, and I thought it was really awesome. And I think that there's huge potential for this fractal to grow and help Fractally and help Alien World and be really fun and stuff like that. So I'm very grateful for that, and yeah, thanks, and looking forward to seeing you there. And then I don't know if Patrick or Chacruz had their hands up first.
Go ahead, Chacruz, go ahead.
Chacruz is muted.
Yeah. Doug, you look awesome. Dan, you look awesome. Mark, you look awesome. Dwayne, you need to work on your background. Yeah, guys, thank you. Patrick, awesome. I like it. Yeah, good job. Yeah, I wanted to say something important, but I forgot.
Okay. Maybe, that's a cool background now that Dwayne's got. Okay. Should we go to Patrick then first, and then?
Yeah. No,
Yes.
no. I remember. Yeah. Money. So Dan announced that he is open for new blog producers. Right? That's a big announcement. And we are, well, Dwayne, yes, that looks great. So we can. So every one of each of us, I think, can create a block producer right now. So we'll have a coalition of block producers to share technical, hassle. So we'll have somebody who's gonna make all of our block producing work 100% technically fine. So we don't have to care of technology. We can share that cost. And as the first group of block producers for Fractally, because right now this is the place and time in space where the most stubborn fans of Fractally are staying up late Saturday night, a little bit high, a little bit low. But we are, and I know each of us. So we've met and we've talked, and each of us has some ideas, like Alien World's block producer. And you have Alien Wars, let's go vote for our guild. And we'll share some of the revenue back to Alien World community, because block producing, well, it is something around $5,000 to $10,000 a month, which is like a good payment for being on the chain. And I mean net, so you can make $5,000. That's a good payday. I have a grant from the blockchain every month, and you can expand and you can do services, because we're going to do services, community building, fractally starting. Somebody will write a book 10 best practices for fractally management, starting, funding, launching. Hey, and there will be a huge success. Something like Alien Awards might take off, and some community could create, because community is about in the game. But if the developers are stuck, like in Farmer's World, even the community can fund continuation of the development, like a fork. To make something better, because I don't know if Alien World is the same, but Farmer's World is unknown. We don't know if the team exists, only support exists, but the development is not exciting. Fans are there, community is there, but they want something new. Otherwise you lose competitiveness and some new game will take over. Right now, I'm more invested into a running game, Move to Earn, because I missed the first wave, and I'm lucky I missed it. Okay, I didn't lose money on the first wave, but the second wave is going to be longer. It's going to bring more money. It's going to be more stable, because we know the mistakes they make in the first phase. With tokenomics and trying, banning China. Who is trying to ban China, the whole country, for botting? Just pay them, pay the bots, and you'll be fine. You'll have a botnet, which is also a state of a game. Well, but if you don't have it, like in a fitness, well, this is the next thing after Farmer's World, because I understood that we need something more. And Move to Earn is a great selling idea for people to onboard blockchain. So even if you have a niece, like an aunt, like a sister, or somebody who is not in the blockchain, and say, hey, you know what? I got a present for you for birthday. This is like a $50 sneakers. You can, what is it? What do I have to do? It's like a Tamagotchi. You have to run it out. Every day, you have to run it for 10, 15 minutes. Basic is 15 minutes. So, and that's it. And you will get tokens, and you will get every month, you will get $50, something valued $50. It's okay, I can buy cigarettes for that. And run and smoke. Or you could be like a vegan and say, oh, fuck it. If I run, I buy food for that money. So I don't get $50 sneakers. I'll get $300, $200 one, maybe a grand one. And if I'll make a grand every month by running, I will be motivated, to say the least, right? So that's a grant. I can talk with mine tokens, and we have challenges. We also have some routes, because this is blockchain, and if you make a route with the application on, you are recording the whole route. So if we put it into blockchain, connected to these NFT sneakers, then you have every sneakers will be unique, and the more you run it, the more expensive it becomes. Imagine if these sneakers were provably like worn by, I don't know, just like
Michael Jordan.
yeah, Michael Jordan, and you have locations on the blockchain for that sneakers, like in these areas, like in the US, in you know, where he was wearing them. So it keeps history, like on these boots, like these GPS coordinates.
Globetrotters.
Yeah. So you have this, and it's all on the blockchain, and I can sell you some special one, like Michael Jordan one. Like if I stole it, like, hey, you know what? I got this Michael Jordan NFT, like $5,000, just for you. Otherwise, it's 100. You should sell it on the black market because it's Michael Jordan stuff. But I stole it. I'm a hacker, so I can give it for 5. Yeah, so that's the world we're going to.
Sure.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'm totally into running a node. We were a block producer on all the chains before. I wasn't a developer, and I kind of lost my developers, but I have right now infrastructure I'm paying for that can be utilized. So I'm paying for it already, and it's not running these other chains. So it's set up on Hexner over in Europe. And then just to put that out there as well, if anyone would want to join EOS, you're saying there's a lot of money. My one developer went rogue on me, and to be honest, was not ethical in transferring keys and transferring all the IP over. So it kind of hurt. I said to that developer that when there was profit at the end, he was getting paid. So my block producer history, because it wasn't an equitable divide. I paid for the infrastructure, and the person that was the developer didn't want to share the risk, so he was getting paid. So for that kind of setup, the only equitable way to share risk is that it would be a split of the reward. But I'm just putting that out there. If you want to join CSX as a block producer in any of these other chains, by all means. But it becomes quite difficult to compete, especially in the wax chain. They're very prescriptive of what you have to do, and you have to be developing things for wax. Maybe this whole stuff we're doing Fractally would be like that, but it was very developer heavy, and we weren't making enough tools to get even in the paid list. I did get paid from Telos for quite some time, which is great. We never made it to a paid position on EOS. Proton, their value was never enough to even pay for the coffee. But to say there's a lot of money there, after you have to get paid first, and a lot of that is more than just being a tech and having a node. You got to be very active in the socials, and I just never excelled at pushing that part of it that much. But I'd be willing to share the infrastructure I'm already paying for, and then extend. Anybody wants to be the tech for those other chains, great. But it's not 100% guaranteed that we're always going to get paid. So, but I'd pay for the infrastructure that's already been paid for. So
that's great. Wayne, I can take care of the technical. So maintaining the servers, to put it all, make it easy for all of us just to launch a node. So it shouldn't be a problem. It shouldn't be a cost of thousands. It could be maybe $100 a month, like just a little fee, and that will keep you running in the cloud, because everything is in the cloud anyways. So we're just going to be a part of this cloud, and we don't have to hide in this cloud much. So we can choose any data servers, and everything is Dockerized. So this should be like a tried and ready and approved Docker that we maintained as a group of block producers. we have all the settings, and this is there is a new thing called code as architecture. I think so. Yeah, it's that in the code you design the hardware, so you can specify what you need exactly, and then when it's going to be deployed, it's going to be exactly the same, and it's easy to redeploy it, to extend it, to expand it. It's going to be dynamically growing and stuff. So it's a lot different than in 2018 when we started. Just the cloud is probably if we talk to Daniel, if we make it cloud compatible. So if this this will be, I think he can solve it. To create such block producing activity that is not heavily like RAM required, because RAM is usually the most expensive thing. Otherwise, if you can run a node through 100, like imagine that 100 a month, a decent server. It's not cheap. Like I have $5 and $10 ones, but 100 is like okay. But it's good enough. So if we're not limited to what EOS is requiring, because EOS is 2017. But what Fractally in 2022 requires, that is the question. And if Dan will make it in, and he understands how important this is, because this is the decentralization of block producing. It's like having a block producing device as a Raspberry Pi computer, little one. You just turn it on wherever you are, and you're block producing, because you're just well, we have to figure this out somehow, or at the very least, we'll just have a cloud, ready deployment of servers, and we can. And this is also important, not to be geographically like located, like EOS Amsterdam. I use it because I have a VPN to Amsterdam, and they work together fine. So we can do things like that geographically. We can provide, like say, like I am providing for Central Asia. Like, yes, I do have in the cloud stuff, but I also have something in Central Asia. So I'm doing this community work, not because there is a lot of money that I can make from Central Asia, but because it is lacking it. And if we allow this to happen, and if we have like more than 21 block producers making money, more block producers making money, hundreds block producers making money, with little devices or like $100 a month cloud servers. Well, what do you think? Do
you mind if I jump in for a moment?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thanks. So there's I don't know, just like 5 things I want to say quickly. One, I noticed that Mark and Doug have had their hands up for a while, and Patrick did for a while too. So as a matter of logistics, it might be helpful just when other people's hands are raised, just to check in, just to see, like I don't know, maybe keep message short. I was also very much enjoying and learning from the block producer discussion too. So thank you for sharing all that information, and I'm interested in learning more about this. But I don't know, just when people have their hands raised for a while, like it might be nice just to check in to see if people want to say something quickly. And then a few things more than that. So one, I have to go pretty soon. I'll be able to listen, but I won't be in the video. So I just wanted to share my responses to what Dwayne was saying before about the Alien Worlds Fractal. So one, Dwayne, you mentioned about the smart contract for sending it out. So I'm not sure if you've looked into it, but James Mart has built a smart contract that is quite good. It's kind of an MVP, but it works very well for distributing all the EOS and respect for the Eden fractal. So that might be something good to get in contact with either James or Vlad, because Vlad is quite knowledgeable about that, and he's building additional tools on it. I was actually just having a call with Vlad, or I was messaging with Vlad recently. We had a call, and this week for the Eden fractal, we're testing out a new user interface that Vlad built that allows people to submit their votes on chain and has pretty minimal interaction from an administrator. So that might be very helpful, being that it's on Wax. also the Eden NFT group. I think I might have mentioned it to you previously, but they've been meeting. Chuck and Sachit is a developer, and then also Rodrigo and Adam Zentarski from EOS Detroit and Facings. There's a lot of developer talent there, and people are sharing a lot of exciting ideas about distributing NFTs that I think are very related to what you're talking about, the Alien World. So I can send you an invite to that if you'd like. And it seems like that's very in line with what you're doing. And then, yeah, I mentioned Vlad doing that, and then also you mentioned silverbacking. I know that project with BIOS had something going on with silverbacking. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but that might be something to look into. Talking because Toby, I don't know what his last name is. Toby and Dan and Stan Larimer and a couple other people associated with BIOS are working with something with like things in space, nodes in space. But I remember they did have a project that was using silver, so that might be something to look into. And then yeah, I completely agree that gaming is like ripe for fractal governance. Like they have all these amazing things built up, and they like really could use and appreciate and benefit from fractal governance. That could be a great way to grow fractally and fractals that we grow with it. It also reminds me of DAGs too, decentralized autonomous gaming guilds that Yves LaRose talks about. And then the graphics aren't great, but the art is really cool. And so I feel like just the art, combining that with the visual aspects, could be really neat as well. And then also Dwayne, and also to everybody, but also specifically to Dwayne, because you're starting up the fractal, and I have some experience trying to do a similar thing. Then just please feel free to reach out anytime if there's anything I can do to help, or anybody who's interested in doing a fractal or in general. But yeah, and then also because I'm going to go pretty soon as far as this, maybe I'll make Dwayne or somebody else the co-host as well, so you can make changes if you need to. I see a lot of people have their hands raised too, so I also don't want to ramble too much. But maybe Dwayne, would you like to respond to any of those first, or should we go to somebody who has their hands raised?
I have my hand raised before, and I have now again. Just for Duan, have you reached to Bounty Block for the NFTs?
I'm glad you reminded me. I have that tool. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitively, because if you do your NFTs directly into the Atomic Hub, that's not really the same experience as, for example, Martin Breuer of EOS Nation with Dot Gems and Stéphane Bisson. They have made all their collections into a nice, well-crafted interface on top of EOS Atomic Hub and on top of Wax Atomic Hub. And they are using this Bounty Block by Dimitri, nice tool, not only to do the website, also to do campaigns, invitation to people, collect all the, you can create a new marketing NFT campaign if you want, and you collect all the response in one place. So that's very cool. So Dimitri, Bounty Block. And also something else I was thinking, the Uplift World by Cory Cottrell and Jimmy D and Michael Blue. They have made a lot of things in the Uplift World, and it's like a little bit Lego, old school, but something very nice there. You can have a key on the Atomic Hub. Let's say you have an NFT and you have a key, and by having this key, that's unlock you a land, a place on their Uplift World. So maybe the Alien World, like Dot James or other collection of Martin Breuer, or they are in crypto voxels. But you can imagine that with Alien World, you have a presence also into the Uplift World by having a key there and incentivizing people to have some gamification between Alien World and Uplift World by doing so, and also to be in crypto voxels. It's based on Ethereum, but at least that's very well known. That's for this reason that Dot Gems and Yana Jana, yeah. They have their metaverse into crypto voxels because it's based on Ethereum. There is a lot of liquidity on Ethereum and a lot of onboarding. But you can stay into the EOS world, let's say into the into the fractal world if you want, but have a place indeed in other metaverse, like Uplift, like and the other one, the crypto voxel, and Upland, maybe Upland also, because it is a very nice onboarding on Upland. So I was just thinking about that. And the last point that I have, and after I give you to Mark, about the cloud. Yeah, it's clear. I am working also here in Switzerland with a lot of cloud platform based in the Swiss Alps, in data center in Swiss Alps, and delivering platform as a service, not software as a service, but platform as a service. What does it mean? It's my customers, they don't use directly a URL onto your web browser. They go in remote desktop on a server in the Swiss Alps, and they have to log in with 3-factor authentication. That's very securized. And when they arrive on the desktop, they have icons, like on a Windows desktop with icons, shortcuts, and all. And each profile is let's say customized for relative to the need of the people accessing. And they use only the software that they need, but all that in platform as a service that's very secure, instead to give them directly a URL and using a software as a service. And that's the mix between cloud and the EOS blockchain is used just to timestamp the events on the chain, proof of event on chain, and it's a good, let's say, a good compromise between you keep the data that you want to keep on your server. It's about data governance, IT data governance. You decide what you want to keep in your platform and what you want to externalize. And what you are externalizing indeed is you elect the processes that you want to shift on the blockchain. We cannot all put on the blockchain for sure. So it's a good mix between the Web3 tools and the blockchain. And I think with Fractally, and also with, don't forget EOS, because EOS can be the settlement layer, the bridge with Fractally can bridge with EOS, but not only with EOS, with other blockchain layer 1. But what I want to tell, when Jacques Rose was speaking about cloud, I was thinking at the same time, we want to avoid, you want to avoid to have mastodont that could be shut down and suddenly we don't have any more access to our stuff. But if we use that intelligently for the performance, for the adoption, for the onboarding, and we just put on the blockchain what really we want to timestamp, that's a good distribution. That's a good, don't speak about decentralization. It's a good distribution of the data, and it's a good way to don't take too much risk, because to put all on the blockchain, that could also be in a way we could be fucked maybe. So we have to be very smart and use that very intelligently. There was a call yesterday where Dancing Joy was in by Helios team speaking about decentralization. I was there a while speaking about decentralization. There was Chris Barnes, there was Jesse Jaffe, there was Dancing Joy, there was Gabriel Shaw speaking about what is decentralization. What is the, do we need decentralization? Why we need decentralization? And the question, the answer was very short. We don't want to have too much centralization. We want better, at the most, to be decentralized. But it's a dream. it's a dream. I think it's not the end goal to be decentralized. The goal is to have the best distribution of the data, and also we have to keep our sovereignty and decide what we want to keep for us and what we want to externalize. It's up to every one of us. We cannot say it is good to do so or to do so. Each one can decide. It's like a vote into our breakout room or not. Today, when I was going into my breakout room Fractally, I was thinking, I will not vote for myself. And when I was with Daniel Larimer in the same room and with Lenny and with Doug, Wu here, we were into the same room. Suddenly, during that I voted for Jay Taylor, I don't remember for Wu das was, I have changed suddenly my mind, and I was thinking, I have maybe to vote for myself. And I stated to Daniel Larimer, oh, I have changed of mind. I have decided now to vote for myself because I see maybe if I do like that, we will reach faster consensus. Because if you are in your room and you are afraid to not vote for yourself, maybe you are like, let's say, denaturated because you are advocating for yourself, and at the same time, that's not bad to vote for yourself also. So I am making a parenthesis. So Duan, I will join your next call on Thursday, and that's good because it is on the same day as the EOS support by Bishop, where we can have some EOS with Doug Wu. He has some EOS last week, but that was scary because Doug, you have experienced the problem with YouTube, and I was thinking that the first that will see appearing his message on YouTube, that means he is before the other. And indeed, that was not that. He has experienced some, that's strange that Doug Wu has always experienced something. With YouTube, he was experiencing like something. Sorry, Chacruz, you speaking a lot before. So that was that, and you are muted, I don't hear you. That was that, and now I don't know what I want to say because Chacruz is like very stressed. Okay, so see you guys.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I love what you're saying.
Yeah, you love always what I am saying, I know.
I just want to say
so
that Dan
see you on Thursday.
Yeah, Dan had like 15 minutes ago that in 5 minutes he has to go, so he has to go. So I'd like to let him go, not just, letting him go. Dan, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Great.
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
Thank you.
So, Mark or me?
Yes. So, Patrick, I'm sorry I interrupted you. I just wanted to make sure.
No, no
that
problem. I am accustomate.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Very sure.
Yeah,
Okay,
I know you. You are speaking 1 hour, and after I have just to do my point for a moment. But
Okay. I'm sorry. We have to then let go, and we have to appreciate what Dan has done with his picture today. So, as the idea generator, in front of Daniel Larimer of this idea of the game for the best background, I want to give a prize, my prize, personal, subjective one, to Dancing Joy. I'd like to appreciate it. Was beautiful, and especially when you were out of the picture and you started moving these alien ships, and I was like, wow, he has animations. If you could make some animations, man, like that's the beginning, boom boom, and you can always have a timer showing how much time do we have left. How much time are we talking? How much time is this person talking? So if you have a button like pung, 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 pung.
Yeah, especially for you.
Yeah. Especially for you. Yeah, I know.
There.
You can make it an opt-in, opt-out
I
layer.
am upset because I have no button. Where is the button?
And I want to send hearts to a person, not just a heart. I want to send hearts to somebody.
What about a ass instead of a heart?
What about?
No, I'm joking. Sorry.
Okay.
I was thinking not only to give heart sometimes, but to give a ass. but there is no ass.
But there is more. So just I also want to go. So I would like to give the second prize. It's not second in value. It's just by the order to Mark. Yes, thank you. Yeah, this is the cutest background of the day.
Absolutely. It's a scary background and a nice background at the same time.
It's cute and scary at the same time. I would also like to say, I'm still watching about to go, and I'm happy to listen to I don't be on the video. But yeah, thank you for the reward. Shakuz, I appreciate it, and also congratulations, Mark, on the reward for the cutest and scariest background. And then also I agree too, like having these things in the interface and stuff. Like I don't know how to make the animation work manually, but that'd be cool to get more of that. I completely agree. I'm sorry to cut you off. What were you saying, Patrick?
There is 3 prizes. He say 1, 2, and the third podium is Doug.
That was a cool background.
Yeah, Inception background.
And then it's not just background. Then it's also your picture. So you have good lighting, smooth, looking nice. You look amazing yourself.
I look
You're
very
beautiful.
smart and very beautiful man.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Shakuz, and also likewise.
It's all of it. Yeah, it's all of it.
And Doug and Duhan has a beautiful.
Now you can go. Okay. Thank you.
Now, you have the permission to go now. Huh?
Yes, I do. I'm still going to be here, by the way. I'm just walking my computer. I'll still listen.
I need to give other prizes too. I cannot not mention Doug. I cannot not mention Doug. So Doug, you have, it's not the next place. It's a place, your own, which is for the creative vibe from your high backgrounds.
It's my own special place. I love you. That was nice.
Yes. Yeah, and you had some
Neverland. It's the Neverland.
You had some fun ones. The TV one is great. The TV one.
The TV.
I'm always on the go. I can't stand still.
And Avatar is great. Avatar, I love it. You can play with it more.
I love the Avatar for sure.
Yes.
And the 70 TV was very fantastic. Yeah,
and the most special place today, the most special prize to Patrick. Okay, for being consistently great.
Consistently boring.
No, you're consistently good to great.
I try
in your picture
to be less bastard,
and it's getting better. You have
getting better bastard. Less bastard.
Yeah. Like look, your lighting is better now. You used to have less lighting. Now it's more even on you. It looks good. It's almost perfect. Maybe a little more like effect something. Make it brighter, just to compensate the camera. But otherwise it's perfect. It's good.
Well,
and if you have this background, you can change and you can use it as a ticker. Man, nobody is saying like don't advertise anything on Fractally. And why are you sitting not advertising anything? Like, let's get
next time. I will be a habit. I think that would be nice.
But we need to recognize you by your voice. So we have to. But still, why not?
Yeah.
All right, and Dwayne, you're getting better.
Voilà, Dwayne, I was sure. Dwayne.
You started. Yes, it's a good start.
That's bullshit. You have to change all your background.
No. You had the fun one.
Background right now, Dwayne.
You had the fun one. One before, or maybe like a couple of times before.
Scary, this cat.
There was colorful mushrooms in Dwayne's background. I don't know what the background for Dwayne is now, though. It's like Earth or something? Or space?
It was just a weird picture I took at the ocean. I just didn't even realize I had it here. So yeah, just an off one.
Enjoy. You have to change it.
Well, right now I don't have a background.
You have to change your background.
I made another.
Okay, what to?
You have just your face, but I think you have to change your face also.
Okay, I'll go work on my face. No problem.
Oh, by the way,
yeah. Duhan is into the jungle.
Whoa!
You know what? It's perfect. Well, then it's perfect. Your face is perfect.
Now it's in Alaska. Where is?
Can you make it rectangular, not like it's a square right now to me. So I have this.
Shakuz, you have your head cut. You have to change your background.
Dwayne's going all
Sorry,
around the world.
you are not eligible for the next Fractally meeting.
It's a feature. It's a feature. I like to brag
It's
about
a
my
feature
microphone.
that you have the head cut. Yeah, nice.
No, that's a microphone. Like.
And Duhan is in Pueblo now.
This is a stream just 20 minutes down from my house. So this is actually
this
in
is
Costa Rica.
Wow.
Yeah.
Costa Rica. I love Costa Rica. Es una rica costa.
That's also one of my pictures.
La Roca Quista, la rica costa.
Yeah, that's actually my picture too. Monkeys behind my
Monkey macaque. Nice.
All right.
And Doug is a rabbit into the Neverland. And Mark is the new president for sure.
That's a hemp crop in 2019 in Saskatchewan.
Wow.
We had 1,600 acres of industrial hemp, so that's one of the crops.
Absolutely amazing.
Nice.
No, I enjoy to go into this fractally alien world
Patrick.
to know more.
Patrick.
Oh, Mark has changed. He will return back into the future. Yes,
Yeah.
but
Patrick.
yeah, Jacques Cruz,
So
you are cut. Huh?
I'm anxious. I'm still waiting. I'm still here
Speak.
to wait. Even if we leave just what this is yes Dwayne.
Speak now, Jacques Cruz, because Dan is still here.
This one the one not the one you have around you, Dwayne. But sorry about that, Patrick. About you. So I was waiting. So I can continue asking you personally.
Yeah, you can continue 1 hour if you want. No problem.
May I ask you personal questions?
Okay.
You said
Yes,
you married. You said you married and your wife is Colombian. Is that?
Oh, hey, man. I already answered you before. If you want to speak with me in private, we have a chat conversation in private.
Okay.
So, why you are playing a game now?
Just asking. I'm curious.
Yeah, you know the answer already before. Don't make the... Please, you know what I mean. Okay.
I'm fine. You can ask
You
me
want to
about
speak something else, or maybe about Fractally, or something else?
No, I don't want to speak about Fractally.
Or you want to speak about my life?
Yeah, it's more fun.
Okay, more fun. Okay.
No, I mean
going
literally,
to,
it's more interesting. It's more interesting.
It's more interesting for you. Okay, maybe. Yeah.
Of course.
Maybe not for the other. I don't know.
I was going to comment, Patrick. You said you love Colombia. I have to leave Costa Rica every 3 months because I'm not a resident.
Yes.
And I always go to Colombia. It's the vibe I go to Medellin.
Medellin, beautiful.
The vibe there is so fun, and I'm not sure if clothing is really cheap or affordable. But everyone has style, and
affordable.
Even the people on the street, like there's no. It just seems like everyone's. It just feels like a safe, fun place, and the parties are amazing. So yeah, I really appreciate going there for a couple
Douglas
of days.
Butner is there.
The food is so good. The weekend parties are just like wow. And then I'm in the middle of the rainforest, so I don't get out too much to big cities. So it's the exact opposite from just quiet, nice, peaceful to like whoa
nice
in the middle of parties
nice
that are just.
You have nice place. You have Bucaramanga. Bucaramanga is 45 minutes from Medellin. Very beautiful place. Flowers, parks, very beautiful. Medellin is the ciudad, the city of the light. In Christmas, the period of Christmas between middle December until middle January, it's a beauty. That's the most beautiful place for the light. Park with lights and they inject a lot of money to do that every year. That's incredible. You have the metro cable. It's like in the sky. So metro cable, it's you are in little boxes and you are going to the mountain. Beautiful city, and the people are very, I would say, very warm, very artful. They help us. Each people help them between them. There is no need for social security and all this stuff. The people are helping each other, so that's natural. And you are welcomed when you are from Switzerland or when you are from US. Coming there, you are like received like a king. And for us, it's clear for the US and Switzerland. Going in Colombia, it's very affordable because about the money. You are don't use a lot of money when you are paying with your money of US or of Switzerland, the Swiss franc, and you are going in Colombia, it's pesos, the Colombian pesos. That's very affordable to live there. So my dream would be to go 4 months, 5 months a year and come back here in Switzerland. But as always, you cannot do always what you want. But I am not married in Switzerland. I am not married with a country. I love Switzerland. At the same time, it's very scary place. It's a burr. I love Colombia because all is possible. You have the right to live. You have the right to sing. You have the right to express your emotion. You have the right to be you. When you are in Switzerland, you have to be very, very ordered, very structured. You don't have the right to go to the left, to the right. You have to stay in your box. You cannot go out of the box. So in Colombia, all is possible. All is possible. At the same time, there are sometimes problems, but if you don't go into the problems, you will never have problems. So I think it's the same in each country. If you are not going to put you into problem, you will not have problem. So because in Colombia, they are very strict. If you say something, you have to do. If you don't do what you said, it's a kind of falling respect. No, Chacruz, no. They don't kill you. No. That is a thing of the television. That's a thing of the media. No. The Colombian people are very beautiful people. But it's like all in the life. If you say something and you are doing the contrario, the inverse, you are like putting let's say a knife in the back of the people. You don't need to do always a paper to testify what you want to do. By giving your hand and stating the things in the eyes and stating to the people, I want to do so, you have to do. But if you have an impeachment, okay, that's okay. You can be sick, you can be in struggle with money, that could happen. But Colombia, for me, beautiful country, and Costa Rica also. Costa Rica, nice country. Mexico, I love also Mexico. Basically, America del Sur, beautiful country, and where is a river or a lake or I cannot live in a city where in a place where there is no lake, no forest, and no lake. I love to go to the lake, into the nature. Sometimes that's very good to like Douglas Butner, he say always, I go into the forest when I am lost, when I have falling my center. But where is Douglas Butner? I am not seeing anymore. Where he is? He's leaving, or he's joining again, or do you know, Doug? Where is Douglas?
Well, he kept saying how he needs to focus on CXC, and he was
he has to focus a little bit.
There was a Twitter Spaces event where he and Chris had a very extended dialogue. That was the last time I saw him. So his name got brought up in the Eden members group, and because of tagging or whatnot, he ended up coming back and saying some few things. That was just like yesterday or something like that. But he's still obviously around and interested, but he's retracted from focusing on Fractally or fractal governance. I think, and more on what he's already established with CXC and his token.
Douglas is reconnecting with his passion and work
Yeah.
with CXC. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Which,
and Chakrouz, where are you based, Chakrouz? Where are you based, you?
Tashkent. Tashkent.
Where?
Tashkent. It's Switzerland in Central Asia.
Ah bon? Okay.
We have mountains and lakes. Like
I was thinking you were from Ukraine. You are not from Ukraine, indeed.
Oh.
Sorry. Or you Russia?
I'm not even Russian. I'm not Russian.
You are not Russian. You are not Ukrainian. So you are Belarus? No.
No.
No, nothing.
I'm Jewish.
Okay. I was thinking you are from maybe Russia, Ukraine, or Belarus, but it's not the case.
I'm Jewish.
You are Jew? Okay, now he's joking again. Okay. Yeah, we have to have.
Don't ask me about Holocaust. Don't ask me about Holocaust.
Oh, sorry.
No, I mean you don't want to know.
No, there are some subjects to avoid. Yeah. We cannot speak Catholicism, we cannot speak religion, we cannot speak all that, otherwise we will not agree. So stay on EOS, stay on EOS.
I see Mark's had his hand up for a bit.
Oh, Mark, sorry. Go ahead, Mark. Oh no, go ahead, Chakrouz, you have your hand raised.
Yeah, Mark has something.
It's okay.
Something beautiful.
A new background. Thank you.
I love the background. It's India now.
Now it's.
Yeah, basically everything.
Imagine.
Go for it.
Yeah, imagine that we will have this as our own application, so we can, as a community, decide which buttons to add, which features to add, because we have respect, and respect gives us power. Like Daniel was that day voting on the new logo. Like, let's vote if we are going to have like some certain reaction in the UI and on the Fractally blockchain as a part of communication protocol. Because what we're building right now is we're building communication protocols around different types of meetings and consensus buildings and stuff like, and just maybe even just sending money. Like if I want to send money to somebody, I'd love to see him in Zoom, like with a virtual background, no ID, but look in the eye to the person.
There is no recording.
Who is not recording?
The Zoom is not recording now.
Well, we can assume that we are recording.
It's
still recording on my OBS, by the way.
I don't mind.
No, that is okay. You can stop the recording. It's okay. It's okay.
Cool. Well, I'm not at my
No,
computer
I'm joking.
so
I'm joking.
recording.
Sorry.
Okay. I can stop it soon if you want me to.
No recording. OBS, yeah.
Okay, yes.
Do you want me to stop recording it?
I don't know who is recording now because there is no recording.
Me, can you hear me, Patrick?
Yeah, I hear you. You record? Okay.
Yeah, still recording on my OBS. I can go to my computer in like a couple minutes and stop recording if you'd like. Or like a minute, actually.
By the way,
it's up to you.
Doug he has a television. He can do the recording.
I'm not recording.
You are not recording. I don't recording also. So who is the next that will record? Oscar, you can record if you want.
I'm on my phone, so it's fine.
No,
You
ça
can
va pas
keep...
aller. It's not okay. Yeah. So Duan will record. No, he's in the alien world. There, they don't have the possibility to record, so it's not possible. And Mark Shear is in India, so the connection internet is very bad there, so it's not possible. So the only one that can record is me, because I am in Switzerland. The connection will never be down, so I can do a recording.
No, then go ahead.
So Mark.
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, I have a lot of resources for a block producer as well.
You have? Well.
Subject we talked about a long time ago. So my thoughts were on that. And now I don't really know if that's appropriate to talk about that, but if people are into it, I'd be glad to bring this up. I felt that when one of you, I think, Dwayne, were you saying that you had hardware or resources of some kind to be able to support a BP effort? All of the bells and whistles went off where I was like, I would love to be a part of that effort. So not only do I have like actual hard resources, but I'd also like to learn and be able to get a lot out of it, just in terms of kind of bridging the gap between all that mysterious stuff that block producers stand up. I tried to do it once. I reached out to Luke Stokes and I just basically got a hammer from Luke Stokes that said, you don't know enough to do this. And I was like, I appreciate the honesty, basically. Thank you. Backed out. And I said, next time I go back in there, I'm going to need more of a nurturing group for learning. That was when they had the DAC factory. I tried to set up a DAC factory node. And that was 3 years ago. And it didn't really kick me in the nuts. I could have done it, but
With Luke Stoke?
I didn't understand the question.
With Luke Stoke of DAC Factory, this guy, Luke Stoke, that is living in, where he's living, Brock Pierce, into Puerto Rico?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I see. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, he had the whole thing, but it was a pre-release, it never really even got released. I was kind of waiting for the second round of it being a pretty decent, friendly UI. And so since then, yeah, man, I'd love to run a node. I got like...
I have also a friend in Switzerland. He wants to run a node since 2017, 2018. And he asked me every time, Patrick, we have to create a block producer. And I said, no.
I mean, I haven't like set up a node. I got a Starlink.
I have set up a full node in the Swiss Alps in a former military bunker, an EOS full node.
So I guess, what was the original?
That I am capable to do, but a block producer, sorry, a block producer that's need a lot of SIB, Maurice Vanegas with the block produce, with the bppgl.mlt, that's by the Prospector team. That's a specialization.
Is directed to, I think, Dwayne. What is the goal or the proposal?
Of the block producer.
And as a secondary item, is there something we can be doing kind of today to get on board? Yeah, thank you.
The I haven't been the back end guy, so we went through our first guy that was kind of learning, and we had up to all the chains running, so Wax and Telos and EOS. The disk space and stuff, my last dev guy had he took a mental break, and he was one of the best guys that I could ever hope to have. So he got me into some systems I'm still paying for, because I was thinking, well, we're going to get a dev back involved. And you're right, a node itself is just a couple $100, but I'm paying for big storage to have the snapshots so that if something goes down, you could restart everything. So the infrastructure I'm paying for now in US dollars is probably about $900 a month, and it's not running anything. And the thankful thing is that the first guy abandoned us and stole our funds didn't keep any documentation in Docker or anything, but the second guy has good documentation. So if you know some of this stuff, there should be, at least our GitHub should follow along of like what the hell we're doing. My last update, we haven't updated the last update. So my block producer with CSX was running since the no-go in 2018 up to just this last February. So it's not that old, but just the biggest thing that we needed to do to get up the rankings and get paid in Telos and in Wax was a big step, because it was to run the history solutions.
Yeah.
And so just running one node, $100 virtual server, no problem.
No
Having the
problem, yeah.
backup so that you can be a consistent block producer, and if something goes down, even your hosting goes down, you can just restart the chain up. Costs a bunch of money in storage. Running all the different APIs and running all of the oracles and running everything that the Wax chain was asking you to do started piling up. But I guess the long story short, there should be some documentation. I'm still paying for that because I thought, geez, if we just shut this down, I'm going to lose stuff that I don't even know how to recover that I'm going to probably need, and that's
you don't really
private
need to
stuff.
be a block producer now.
And the last person that's I wanted to hire was going to cost money monthly and didn't want to take a split. He was capable, but the reason I didn't go ahead is he was going to do all the history solutions using AWS or Google, and I couldn't get it a fixed price of what doing all the history was going to cost, and I just didn't have the budget. I just didn't want to start it where he had overhead of about $3,000 a month, and then running a history solution and doing something I didn't ever know about in the cloud could have possibly ran me, who knows. So I didn't take that extra step. The last guy ran a node for other block producers that just stopped, and he's from India. He's a trusted member of the community, so we have an expert that could walk us through that. I'd love to get back on those other chains, but at the very least, let's definitely go ahead and be a block producer for Fractally. All the other stuff, it's there if someone wants to join me in that. Just realizing that the time to run the block producer for Wax and Telos doesn't get guaranteed you a paid spot. So it's more about, do you want to learn and love it and take a risk and volunteer, and you might not get paid. So I'd be willing to keep the hardware up and at least have that cost that wouldn't be shared, but the rest of it would have to be a profit split because I just don't have the funds to kind of front a developer to go ahead. But I'm willing to share the docs and the GitHub and all that. So.
And in that case, I'll work directly with you over time, like over the next few weeks, maybe months, whatever, and just keep pushing into that direction. Unless we have something hard on the ground we really want to knock out this week, we can do that too. Let's just do that offline together. You'll be the guy that I just speak directly to on it. Okay.
Yeah, we will speak here. When you see,
I have a question, Doyne, and you seem to have a lot of experience already in that area. It's my understanding that the Wax blockchain is one of the most exigent in the matter of being a block producer. Is it really that hard as advertised? Because, for example, the guys from EOS Sweden, you know them?
Yes,
they're very good. They're very good, and the guys from EOS Amsterdam, they're very good at doing that. But it's not a secret that they come across trouble from time to time because it's very difficult to keep the node running for Wax.
It's not difficult just running the node. It's not that difficult running the different API services, the Atomic API or the Price Oracle APIs. But to the extra price and risk, because there were so many transactions from the farming worlds and alien worlds, and the amount of history solutions, and we didn't have a history solution. And that next jump, we'd have to do some investigation and ask these other block producers, what is that costing them? And if we put up all that infrastructure, they are prescriptive and they judge you every month. It's not like EOS, if you don't run something, no one's voting. They are very prescriptive and they vote. It's a centralized people in Wax that vote who are the top 30 VPs that get paid. And that's not good enough. We could have all those tech things done, and you are still 2 points or 5 points under the threshold to get paid. So the other point is you have to be building something specifically on Wax. So you have to be having 3 different things in Wax to get paid. The infrastructure doesn't do it alone. You have to be building something, and then you have to have a great marketing team that's doing a lot of
Exact.
action. So now that I'm going to be more active in the marketing, I think I can just cross that, check that off. But we'd have to be building something, so some game. Maybe it's enough that we build something on Alien Worlds or what have you, but you'd have to. It's a high threshold in that regard. So just running the infrastructure, the only unknown to me is the cost to put up upfront to run all these history solutions, because at one point it was a lot, especially all the free accounts. People were starting a free account, and that RAM and CPU that they were utilizing was born on the block producer to have more RAM and CPU. So their success meant that a block producer was making less money, and it was harder and more expensive to keep up the system. So we all talk about putting up nodes and block producers. It's only half. In Alien Worlds or in Atomic Hub, when you go search for your collection and something that's happened in the past, you're using now these history solutions, and no blockchain has got it right. And it's untalked about, but no one has the right system that's really scalable and great. So that's why I'm excited to see Dan's new database, if that's going to be fix the solution. But these history solutions, look on EOS, because no one's monitoring and no one's caring. There's just these whales at the top. I think there's only a very few, 3 people that are actually running full history solutions. And those people have a lot of money in the bank and have already been paid block producers, right? So maybe not so much as, Costa Rica. I think they've got a whole history solution. They haven't got paid, as a block producer that much, but it was just a risk for me going into that new space, especially going into the cloud. Everything else was, we had our own servers, we had our space, it was a fixed cost. And going into a cloud with a history solution was, I just didn't have all the answers of what it was going to cost.
Duane, I was just speaking with Maurice Vanegas 2 days ago after the beautiful special LATAM number 9. A lot of YouTube views on this YouTube video, incredible. That was the best YouTube engagement that I have seen from a while. And I was speaking with him after that. Why you continue to be a block producer? Because he's going with the prospector team and doing this bppgl.mlt, that's the block producer. And he's in My Vote EOS Alliance. And there is this petition for Anryu to support him for node1.io and all this stuff. And he was stating to me, I can do a video if you want, that will be public like that, like the document Jekyll Island that was restated, that is the producer of this documentary in 2013 with Bill Steers. So now about the block producer, what he was stating, if I have the choice, now I will not running a block producer, because as you said, Duane, you have to ensure the full history if you want to be a real good block producer. Otherwise, it's better to not be a block producer. You can just be a state BP that will be on Fractally, that will be not block producer, that will be like validate just the state, not the full history. And EOS Nation is able to do so. EOS Rio is able to do so with Igor Lins Silva, very nice guy. That's the only guy that can run a full history block producer, and that's cost a lot in infrastructure and all. So it's better to have a good project like your Alien World, and doing a good project with a good gamification, good NFTs, good looking good for the onboarding, doing nice automation with Bounty Block and all that. And block producer, for me, it's a world very apart. And if you are only a block producer and you are not offering also education, tooling, and all this stuff, and you are just waiting on the rewards for the block BP, that's a dream. And it's not affordable business. The only one that can live with that, and also EOS Nation is not, they are not living with the block production. They are living with the university in Canada. They are make money by doing the partnership with the with the other companies, but on the BP side, and we are in 2022, and we are evolving to Fractally. So normally that should be more. We will be our own node, agile node. So that's a shift. I think block producer that could only continue with the actual one, I would say. Not that I say that block production is not interesting, but if you see that with an eye to do some entries, some revenue of that, that's ridiculous when you see all the investment that you have to do to be a block producer. Who is leaving?
Hey,
Marcos.
can I say something? Because
Yeah, you can, Oscar. Yeah. Welcome.
It started off with Shaq Cruz asking the question and bringing up the whole idea of block production. And later he said he didn't want to talk about it anymore, but then Mark brought it up again. And this whole time along, I've been waiting to say something because there's a lot I have to say on that topic in relation to the relationship with Michael of EOS USA to the Fractally Orbit team and him describing himself as a girl in the corner of the room waiting to be asked to dance. And so Michael, if you don't know, is considered and esteemed as one of the more savvy and knowledgeable block producers in the ecosystem that not only does EOSIO blockchains, but other blockchains outside of that.
Yes.
And he, Leif Horton, the game developer I'm working for and that I'm an equity partner in the business Boomerang Earth, has set up a situation where he's already introduced me to Ezra Yao of Crypto Dunker. And Michael and I already have a relationship, and he wants to do the four of us some sort of video dialogue over, I'm not even sure exactly what the specific topics are. There's a number on the table, but the long and short of it is just yesterday after what's happened with the Fractally Orbit team and the conclusion that we need a node meister or blockchain engineer and who that person would be and how to identify them and attract them. And the obvious person was Michael. There was a lot of dialogue that was initiated by myself and a new member called Thomas, who's active in Fractally. And I started getting into the nuts and bolts of cost per kilowatt, you know, like how much weight do these computing devices, because I'm talking about if you want to launch a node, there's a lot of other constraints. And I want a metrics behind all this. So he was the one who actually offered, because he has a lot of spare i9s, you know, like he does the high-end NVMe, the highest end stuff to a variety of different hardware setups to where he has a very large degree of capability himself, as well as educational interest or receptivity to where what I'm trying to do with him is play this game of, hey, what different directions can we go with this technology, or how do we adapt it to accomplish these different criteria or situations. And I want to see a system of metrics where we can have this all quantifiable through a data interchange that not only creates a UI for doing things on chain for economic reasons, but for scientific purposes, and having, you know, a sort of a broader use with a framework involving education and development. And so the interesting thing about it all is what really needs to happen for the Fractally Orbit team to progress farther is for someone more qualified and knowledgeable than I, in this case, Michael, to have a little discussion with the Fractally Orbit team to sort of hash out all these minor nuances and questions. Because it was interesting to me, because it's like when he mentioned actually using a Raspberry Pi, I was like, wow, you know, that changes things from a development standpoint. If you're going to try and launch a heavy server, you know, into a satellite, and if you could just launch a bunch of Raspberries, you know, running in parallel, and just the notion of doing a distributed, like a cloud-based easy solution that can be Dockerized to transfer to a distributed, hey, we want to do nodes on Earth, we want to have satellite connections and redundancy, we want to have API mirrors or whatever, to where it can scale to whatever need or whatever technology. Like there's a way to metricize it all. And so I'm very interested in all this discussion and want to support Shaq Cruz's initial idea of actually becoming block producers ourselves or figuring out how that actually works. Because it seems to me this is not only a key point in moving Fractally forward. I mean, it was just announced to us today that they want that, but there's a lot of raw materials laying right before us that if we can sort of align all these different people that are coming together in different areas and get a dialogue going, I think there's a common thing that we can all agree on to really make some noise and actually, you know, catapult us and leverage our position as being early adopters.
Yeah. Michael is the break guy. He's able to do a lot of things on all blockchains. He has run nodes on. He's able to do all what you want with the hardware. He's very top notch.
Because you know what I'd like to see happen is I'd like to see a fractal form similar to what the EOS Nation is doing with junior developers onboarding. But I want this onboarding process to happen just from the common user that's interested in learning to where we can gamify the interaction with content that's of value. And then sort of like what, I forget it was Jordan or Jorge was talking about, but right now we're building so much of our efforts on third-party untrusted services. We're using Zoom right now. We're building YouTube channels, and you know, here Shaq Cruz is getting his channel going. And it's like, what's to say that someone gets deplatformed or just these anomalies in service? Why are we doing this when if, you know, it's like, if the new thing is coming, you know, I want to focus on that. But in the interim, like I'm more interested in developing on existing open source tools that can be future modularized. So here I am been tuning my horn over WordPress all this time. EOSIO rebranding finally starts happening, yet we still don't know what the name is. But yet what I find out that no one seems to talk about is the eosnetwork.com site is built in WordPress using the WPML plugin, which I considered using, but it was sort of like, it's a fee-based thing to where I'm like, I don't want to necessarily invest in this unless I know other people are going to play that game. Or, you know, or because, and so now I'm wondering, like, how does that work with Translate Me? How does that, are they just using machine learning translations? And so there's a lot of what you said, Dwayne, that there's a lot of sort of a lot more dialogue that could be had if we were more receptive and embracing a wider discussion of topics beyond even just things native to the EOSIO ecosystem, you know, and even like some things came up with like, what's his name? Jordan Ackerman, that he's actually getting rehired to the Santa Fe Institute, who is an institute that's solely focused on fractal governance. You know, and it's like, I just came in across this organization to realize that he's saying, hey, I can't make it this 1 week because I'm going flying back out there. And I'm just going, wow, did we even realize who we had working with our Fractally team and like what that relationship could bear, you know, and you know, so it's all very interesting to me. I think like right now I'm trying to figure out, to me, there's so much content that we're generating that has high value, that's unique, that's relevant and of interest to people. We're not doing a good job as entities using the best tools to us to get it out there. Even like what little I've done, I think I've done a horrible job, you know, and there's a lot more I'd like to see happen. It's just right now I'm trying to have a hard time putting things in their proper boxes. You know, and even just the stuff that Dan asked about alien worlds and the Eden Fractal and how they're trying to streamline the Telegram group, you know, especially with new onboards from a lot of these esoteric
Doug, I will just give you some thought on what you said. We have leading enough time to
1 second. Chuck Cruz had his hand up here too.
Sorry,
let's just hear him, and then yeah, I'll comment on that too. But let's.
And
just
now
go in
it's
order.
Machine Bird. It's coming. Hello, Marco. Sorry, Marco.
Marco, you missed a lot.
Yes.
Today. You didn't come to Fractally, did you come?
We have a good team here. Nice.
But yeah, your background.
We have a nice conversation now. Yeah, just I have for 20 seconds, 30 seconds before to give the mic to Chakrouz. Just to respond to Doug, what said Doug currently with the Michael of EOS USA, this fantastic guy breaking shit and able to do a lot of stuff with the material and all that. That's nice for sure, but now we are in a momentum where we have Fractally going forward. We have Hidden Fractal that we are conducting every Wednesday. There is Alien World Fractal now by Duan. There is at the same time the EOS0 Coalition. There is the ENF, there is all this stuff. And there is a date very important. That's 23rd September 24, when we will have the Mandel new protocol for the EOS mainnet, that's the first blockchain that will benefit of this protocol. And we will have the Yield Plus, Trust EVM, and all this stuff that will be at the perfect momentum, because normally Q3 should be, I hope, with all my heart, that Fractally will deliver some software, because for the moment, like said Douglas Butner, we have seen zero release. That doesn't mean that they are doing nothing, but we have don't see with our eyes. So let's say in Q3, Q4, let's say Q3, Q4, we have something of Fractally. We have the Mandel software that is needed for Trust EVM, for all this stuff. At this moment, you can again pivoting into your business and thinking, makes sense that I become a block state producer on Fractally, or makes sense that I am a real block producer, just to answer to Duan, yeah. Because until Q3, Q4, now you have the time to do what? You have the time to do your gamification, your concept, your fractal, indeed, let's say, your group. Because if Fractal not let's say, Fractal is not surviving, at least we have create a group like EOS Translation Foundation has create a group. So we have to think to create circle, and we can collaborate between us. And that is, if it is on Fractally or it is on EOS or whatever, sorry, we can at least, we have not lose all our time. So it's the time to marketing. So now it's not the time for developing, because developing, it's okay. It's marketing, onboarding, outreach, the influencers with EOSBs, Jesse Jaffe, shout out to him, because he's living a tough time. So we have to strive, we have all to be the best bees, to inject the best nectar into the mindset of the people. And we have to go outside of our bubble, because we are speaking to ourselves. So maybe in Q3, Q4, we can realign our business. It's difficult to say now, I want to do this, I want to do that, because that can change. So it's difficult to build a business when all is always changing. So at least we can rely on something solid. We know that the EOS ecosystem is a great system. EOS.io protocol is not dead. The Mandel protocol is for the EOS mainnet. So all is going fine. Don't be disappointed, but to answer to Duan and to Doug also, because you said, Doug, it's difficult now to put the things into boxes. Myself, personally, I prefer to not put labels on the boxes, because that can change. So, okay. Now I shut out my bastard mouth, and I give the mic to the only one, the best one of all us, Chakrouz. And you are your head cut. Your background looks very bad. Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you.
Joking.
I'm happy to see you all. I'd like to part and say, see you soon. I'm gonna go watch some movies. I have Doctor Strange to finish half of it. So it was a great Saturday. We had a lot to do. We did it. Great weekend, great week. A lot of work put in, some results, some breakthroughs, and progress on all fronts. So, and I'd like to congratulate you with that and say, see you, my brothers, my comrades, on this battle against banksters.
Awesome. That was great shot, Cruz.
Yes.
Yeah, Shakers.
See y'all. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna press one button on this device. Yeah.
That's nice again.
I have a button, and if I press it, I will just exit.
Oh, if you press
I
the
get
button,
two, I
you
got
will
more
be
than one
ejected.
button now.
Nice.
Take care, guys.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Oh, he has left.
I was going to give a quick comment on the node in space.
Node in space.
And then just
yeah.
even Michael as well. Michael is one of the only people that has his own hardware, and he's bugged a lot because it's extra work. You know what I mean? Like, you're saving in hosting costs, but it's extra work to have your own bare metal in your own facility. But if the reason to have a node in space is to have more decentralization, I would say there's a couple steps, and I don't know who's going to incentivize it, and I don't know if anyone even cares, but we mentioned it, Doug, before, that if you look at the EOS block producers, the Telos block producers, and the wax ones, they're a lot of them are the same, and they use the same hosting places, and there's OVT and Hexner, and it was apparent that we could all be in different countries, but we're all using the cheapest, most safest, what we feel safe, hosted in Germany, third parties. And when one of those data centers went out, it knocked out a third of the block producers. So it's just a statement rather than a solution. But it would be interesting when Dan puts out some prescriptive requirements to have APIs and learning what we haven't governed before. We want to make it mandatory to run, here's your set of requirements, and be prescriptive. And hopefully one of them is that you get more points or more pay if you're using a different service than the first guy that signed up. And, being the first guy, if we can be the first guy to sign up and I get to use Hexner, there's a reason that people use it, because they allow you to do this where a lot of other data centers don't allow you to even do this kind of production of blocks. We feel it's relatively safe. It's in the States. In Germany, they have a whole, protection for customers and stuff like that. So is there other people? Yes, but they become more expensive. And then when you look at if you're not a Michael and can't host your own equipment and have bare metal, the choices of having all your nodes in different locations start to become thin. Hopefully, though, we can have lighter nodes, use other services, and maybe not be as well. I'm sure they're still going to be having to have a history solution if this starts, making enough blocks and stuff. But yeah, and then after that, the jurisdiction that governments just can shut down whole jurisdictions of the internet. I do agree with the whole sovereign, have something in space,
sovereign sky.
but it's wondering just what's the first minimum viable product that's going to be the least effort, least like you said, starting to look at power requirements. And for sure, you could probably just run a node with the Raspberry Pi and have something just to prove it can be done. Because we know that we're going to get more censored and people are going to be shut down. So I think it's valuable. But
Duan, you see now Trusty VM. They are not yet launched officially, but they are into the jungle, and they are already published their API endpoint. They have already a faucet to have an EVM token. So you can already have an idea of what that will look like when that will goes out. So now Fractally, if they are not doing the same to give a sense of what that could be, we are just making speculation and dreaming. And that's what we are doing here. We are just dreaming. We don't know exactly what will happen. So myself, I want to know what will happen. And I will not wait until Q3 and Q4 and maybe to be disappointed on Q3 and Q4 that maybe, again, Daniel Larimer will change of direction because he's very good for that. He change of direction because he's an engineer. Sorry, I am doing a little the devil advocate here, but I am able to do so sometimes also. So to be very honest, Daniel Larimer is a great engineer, but not a good communicator and certainly not someone to do good roadmaps. So we will see. We will see. I have this very sentiment that all that is very an experiment for sure. And I don't know. I am here into the Fractally stand-up meeting since the beginning. I have just lost one. And my sentiment, my gut, my intuition is not lying to me most of the time. So I am very happy to see when something will be out, because for the moment it's just words. So there is no links. We are just speaking. So, but that's okay. If there is no links, I am also okay. But sometimes we should see something. And if we have to wait until Q3, so now there is an urgency, because if we are going into this Fractally stand-up meeting next Saturday, and then next Saturday, etc., until end of September, and we have still not an ID, sorry, he's missing the opportunity, because September 23rd, 24th, there is the Mandel, and there will be the Yield Plus, and there will be the Trust EVM and all this stuff. And Fractally, they have to show us something. But I am very happy with the hidden fractal, and I am very happy with the alien world I will join for sure. And Fractally on orbit, node in the space, yes, fantastic. But if there is only node in the space and no relay on Earth, and just one, that seems to be very centralized. So that has to be very distributed otherwise. But
yeah,
now
I'd like to really respond to that, being the only member of the Fractally in Orbit team and not really having a chance to ever talk about it. There's a lot of discussion along those lines. But the primary thing I just want to point out is the partnership of Sovereign Sky with Michael Taggart of Quint,
yes,
creates a fiat onboarding ramp and apparently a currency that is backed in gold and silver. The envisioning thing that I had from the very onset that I've been pushing was, if you want a jurisdictional agility, if you want the ability to respond to any market anywhere in the world, you need to become a utility provider, because you need to provide your own power to yourself in orbit, and you need to provide power to your nodes on Earth. And really, you want to minimize transaction fees and costs in orbit unless absolutely necessary. So the way it envisioned in my mind is a distributed grid of mirror API nodes or full history nodes, where the actual transaction happens in an outer jurisdiction, but then there's a lot of redundancy of that data that doesn't need to be trafficked across the satellite per se. And so the reality is that, like, I don't really know how feasible this project is, what the costs are, but I'm the primary person doing all the research on it, which is scary. And so getting Michael of EOS USA on board is giving me the opportunity to get a lot of nuts and bolts of data over cost per watt, how many blocks produced kind of stuff. And like a lot of these options, to where if nobody else is going to do this, I'm going to spearhead it all on my own, to where I want to make an open source repository for collecting data.
You need Elon Musk.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and so I want there to be some other more larger, like, because I know what I'm doing isn't my idea. It's something that's,
and it's not yours,
happening,
yeah, for sure.
You know, and it's something that I can't build on my own. But the long
it's captivating. It's very captivating, yeah.
Well, the long and short of it is even if I succeed or not, I'm going to be pushing a lot of ideas and generating a lot of dialogue And it may be the case that it goes nowhere, but if other people start running to the
No,
table,
that
hey,
will not goes nowhere.
but,
Sorry,
but you
will
got to
not
look
goes
at who's
nowhere.
involved. Look at who Michael Taggart are and who Tim Burke are. I mean, both of them were present at the meeting yesterday.
If Michael Taggart is not involved, that will go nowhere for sure.
Right.
And if you have only Stan Larimer doing that, that will go nowhere. You need Michael Taggart, you need Gregory Wexler.
So I'm saying that all this kind of talk that we're talking about, that Dwayne's talking about, is absolutely stuff that should be on the table and open dialogue, not only with the fractally chain designers, but with people like Michael of USU. Like
and Daniel Larimer is not.
Yeah, no, and just having constructive criticism to looking at what the realistic options are, because with the space stuff, you're dealing with.
Have you understood? Have you heard what said Daniel Larimer into our room when you spoke about the project of Fractally on Orbit?
Yeah.
Daniel Larimer is not so aligned with his dad.
But see, what I'm saying is we need that dialogue. We need that dialogue.
Yeah, they already have dialogue.
Right.
They are not just, okay, I know a lot of things since 2018. I cannot all say what I know, otherwise I will go in jail for sure. But what I can tell you that there is the project of Stan Larimer dad since a while with this sovereign sky and all this stuff. But that's need a lot of, it's obvious, that's need a lot of money for sure. And also the technology that's need to be in the space, you cannot go there without the help of Space Quest and the help of Elon Musk. Otherwise, and the project of Elon Musk is the Starlink and all this stuff, because what is the goal to go in the space with the nodes also is to give a better internet, a better capability to people in struggles. And currently you have Africa and you have Uganda and you have Venezuela and etc. The people that have not a good access to the internet. So the main motto, the main, let's say the main one of the actions should be to address those people. But if you have not yet made a prototype, you are just speaking to someone that doesn't believe you because you have not showing something. So there is just words, and that makes since April 2019 that we discuss about this fractally on let's say, to be on orbit into the outer space and all this stuff. That's not new. But it seems to be that Daniel Larimer wants to do his stuff with Fractally, LLC. Stan Larimer wants to do his stuff with this Michael Taggart and the other guys. And you've seen the Fractally team, Gregory Wexler and other guys are interested also into this sovereign sky and agile jurisdiction and all this stuff. They are, but I am also like you, Doug. I am all about competing technology and actually embrace the ideas. Nice, but there are some things to do that are tangible, and there are others.
Let's talk tangible, Patrick. Can you tell me how many?
Yeah, tangible. Can
you tell me how many watts it takes to run a high-end EOS or EOS mainnet blockchain server? How many watts? Do you know? Do you know what kind of hardware it uses? Because I do.
I have no clue.
What I'm saying is that I want to create a system of metrics to where whoever wants to play the game can self-report the metrics behind it. And I want it because I need that data.
I don't know.
Well, I'm saying
the only one can answer to that to you. It's Michael Bonin. Michael Bonin of.
Believe me, I'm collecting the data that he's giving me, but I want there to be an organized way using like semantic web and the same kinds of processes that are used in journalism and in the medical field with RDP that no one tends to follow. But you know, that's more like a Web 2.
Make something simple to what the people understands. Yeah, that's always. If you want just to address the medical people and the technological people, only them
I want to develop a metric behind value creation. And it can start with block production, like how much power does it use? how many watts per hour, okay, how many blocks are produced, how much does it cost to heat it, to cool it, to maintain it
Yeah,
over
we don't
time,
know those metrics
when's its
currently.
end of life. I do that. I used to do all that stuff for the hardware industry as a manager. And it's like, these are very basic questions that there's no data collected. Even if it was false, I'd like to see some data.
You know what? When I have those data, I do a mind map and I name it MindWeb metrics block producer or something like that. And I do a mind map.
But I want to tokenize smart contract model of measurement is what I'm talking about.
No, when I say tangible.
But I mean, that's where it's all leading to.
But you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Start off with the basics.
I love dreaming. I love have fun and all that stuff. But there are some things that have to be concrete. And what is doing ENF now with Trust EVM, with Mandel updates, that's very concrete. That's very concrete. And what we are doing now in Fractally, it's innovation. And the time doesn't exist in innovation. The second doesn't exist. I am happy to be in Fractally. At the same time, I want to have something very concrete, because I think we have not the time to waste our time. The time is precious. You know, the project of Fractally on Orbit is a project that seems to be futurist, very, and it's futurist and we are into the now. That's beautiful. But I don't know when that will come to fruition. That could take years. That could take years until that is finished. But I am ready to wait. But okay, maybe you are ready to wait for some things, and you are not ready to wait for other things. So that's a pendulum between waiting, innovate, and doing things tangible. Voila. So, and you are an everything guy. So you are ready to wait infinitely. That's the beauty. That's the beauty with this EOS ecosystem. And you are here since 5 months. Incredible. And you see already what is the point with all that we are living. So we will see. I cannot disagree with your thought, for sure.
Well, I'm going to get going. I got to get something to eat, but I had a great time.
Yeah, I have to go also here. It's already 10 p.m. in my night, and I was since 5. I have spent today in my Saturday 6 hours. That's normal. All is normal. And Duan, all is normal.
I'm out of here, you guys. See you, Dwayne. See you, Patrick. I don't know.
Thanks, Doug.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
everybody.
Doug.
Oscar is still there?
And
great meeting you
apologize
guys.
me sometimes for my, I want to say something here, Doug. Apologize me sometimes for my stupid, my brain is stupid, but my heart is big. Voilà. So.
Hey, you know what, Patrick? I'm not going to apologize, or I'm not going to accept your apology because I like you just the way you are. If you feel like you feel like you need to change or something, like I don't feel that way. You're fine, buddy.
I improve
Yeah.
every day, like
like
you all. Yeah, for sure.
I like making mistakes myself because it makes me realize.
You make experiments. No, you make no mistakes. You make experiments.
Right.
You know.
I turn them into learning lessons.
Yeah, guys, I should go get something to some food. Hey, thanks for everyone sticking on. It was a good conversation, and yeah, I've seen Mark reached out, and Doug and Patrick as well, and Dan saying, "Hey, I want to support this, but I'm not into Alien World, so I'm going to do a quick meeting. I'll invite you all, just like a crash course, really simple. Here's Alien World, and we'll do a series every week, and that could be the contribution. And then also building anything on helping out with the actual platform and helping that part out, I think we can get some recognition as well. So it's maybe not inviting people and expanding the alien worlds, but expanding, the Fractally process and some of the things on there, right? So I think just having the guidance of you guys in the meetings to help the process for new people is going to be a lot of help. Maybe we don't see it in respect, but there'll be at least some rewards. Yeah, if we keep it fun and light, I think it's going to be an experiment, and I really hope we can show these other gamer universes and people that are really trying to need another layer to get rewarded on, and at least get into person. Because you notice one of the reasons my block producer wasn't as competitive is because I wasn't in all these chats, because I just get lost looking at all these things and I don't like writing that much. So I really feel that my strength is getting on video and just doing it like this. So so I think that'll help these other groups as well, and get the people out of the shadows and share what they're passionate about. And we'll find really good people to build, the next things that we need to build the next communities, right? Because a lot of the people in these communities are only just trying to extract value. So we can kind of see who wants to collaboratively do something even bigger, right? So I'll leave it on.
I have an idea, and I think Douglas has the same idea as me. But that's make no problem. We can do overlap things. Sometimes we say we don't have the right to do what someone else is also doing, but you will never do exactly the same. Right. You can have the same idea, but how you do it could be different. So I refer Doug about translation. I am doing my stuff with translation. I am using APIs, okay. And you are also doing translation. And I don't see that a problem. We can run for the same things, doing our things independently. And at a point when we see a common, let's say, value, we connect together. But during this time, we have the right to do the things. Also, Translate Me Network. I am testing their API since April. And when I was in contact with Ryan L. Lloyd, the CEO of Translate Me, he said to me, Patrick, you will be the first in EOS to use our API. And I said, oh, nice. And he said to me, you could be our bug, let's say, beta tester. And I said, thank you, but at the same time, I don't want just to be a beta tester. I want to collaborate. So what I have made since April, I am testing their API to see that sometimes that's returned me an internal server error. Now, since 2 weeks, they have finally, I say finally, because for me that was a long time, but I understand that takes time to do the things. They have now, how you say that, many servers. You say, when you say many servers, you say there is a name for that. It's trust. No, it's not a trust. When you have many, a farm, a server farm. Okay. Or there is another name also. Okay. There are many servers in parallel. So when you call the API, if the API goes down, another server, or let's say another node, is taking the relay. So like this, if when I call the API in a loop, 1,000 times the method translate. If the method translate is failing, let's take the relay. And there is another method that's named suggestion. You can make suggestion to the API. But the problem with Translate Me, there were only on Neo blockchain, Neo. Now, since Pomelo season 2, they want to go into EOS, and they want to run a token. This token, maybe for them it's interesting, but for us, like Jesse or myself in Switzerland, I am not interested with this token. What I am interested just to do is use their API. And not only the Translate Me API, also the Google YouTube API, also the Open Source Forge API for the AI, many APIs. I am not married with only one API. So And what I want to create is named MTS, Mind Web Translation Service, to be very clear. It's a package with different components in it. Some of them will be public, some of them will be, I am not yet decided, but that's what I run for that. And you will say, what has to do with MindWeb? What has to do with the mind maps? People that are just seeing the mind map, they will say, but why now is doing translation? It's very related, because a mind map not translated is like a YouTube video only with one language and without subtitle. So I need mind map translated. But if the mind map are only translated, that's not enough, because when you click on a branch, you call a YouTube video, maybe you call maybe a Google document. I need also that translated. And if I wait on Translate Me Network only, or if I wait on another guy, I can maybe, it's not falling respect to say that, maybe I will wait a long time, because if I wait, maybe in a couple of months, there is nothing. So I have to be independent. And localization also, exactly, internationalization, very interesting. There is a lot of library for that, but I want to be independent. So that's very important. So to come back of what we said, we have to do our circles, and there is EOSBs, there is Eden Fractal, there is now the Eden on EOS, but evolving. And we have all our circle, and we have to sustain us, support us. And Alien World, I go into this next Thursday because I want to see what it is, how I can contribute. Maybe, I hope, maybe, I don't say nothing. I will go there very open. And that's what I want. Collaborative circles. It's not just about Fractally, Eden on EOS, and all that. We have to be very, because I think
do you mind if I jump in and say something?
Yeah, Dan, sorry, Dan, yeah.
Okay, thank you, Patrick. There's two things that I'd like to say, or maybe three things. So one, Patrick, I think that's all very interesting, but I think in the future, it would probably be helpful, because I know Doug and Dwayne were saying they have to go. So just as you mentioned, want to improve in the future. So I think it would just be helpful and respectful in the future to refrain from sharing long stories when people have to go, and just because you don't want to hold people up. I'm not sure about how Doug and Dwayne feel, but I feel like there's kind of a lot there, and they said they had to go. So, and then the other thing I want to say too is Dwayne, yeah, I was also enjoying the conversation too very much, and I'm interested in learning more about all this stuff, by the way, Patrick. But was just talking that might be helpful. I think it would be. And then Dwayne, the stuff that you're saying with the Alien World Fractal all sounds awesome and super exciting. And so I'm looking forward to seeing what you send as far as that event to learn more. And I completely agree. Like, it's super, super helpful. And I'm super excited to
Dan,
to work with you on that.
That's awesome.
Dan.
Yep.
I have a proposal, and it is for Duan. We have the EOSIO Swiss workshop number 15 on August 23rd that will be published. And I have the guests. One of them is Tadas Veitikunas that will be interviewed together, Dan and me. And now I am thinking I would be very happy to interview also Duan, because it's about you are a fractal, and Tadas is doing a proposal for Fractally. So we would have two members of Fractally, one with his proposal for Fractally, that's Tadas, and we will have one with his fractal named Alien World. What do you mean, Dan? You will be interested to co-host, to interview with me, Duan?
Yeah.
That sounds great. I've got to run. I think.
Thank you, Duan.
I'll send you guys a quick update for a meeting on Monday, and I'll just be. I know Mark wanted to join, and Dan, Patrick, Doug, you were interested, just what's Alien Worlds. If you don't have a wax wall, it's like you said, Doug, I can send you some resources to get over that hump, because these are very good things to go through that other new people coming to it are going to face. Is going, hey, I set up a wall up, but I need some resources. So it's not going to be. I'll keep it very short of like first steps to Alien Worlds. And get everyone started, and then we can have that kind of as a continuing, the next step, every week.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
on top of that, by all means, Patrick, we can schedule something for kind of the Fractally process for all these other groups.
Sorry,
is it gonna be Monday
but
at 16 UTC?
I have not understood. Sorry, I have not understood what you said.
For the first kind of intro, a brand new user to Alien Worlds, I'm going to set something up for Monday at 1600 UTC, and I don't think we'll go. I think it'll have to be.
It's okay. It's okay. Monday for me, 16 UTC. That makes 6 p.m. for me.
And it'll
okay.
be.
Me too.
We'll kind of make it short with not a lot of maybe brainstorming afterwards, and the purpose is to share this on the Fractally channel for other people that are coming in, that are going, I want to participate, but I'm not even playing Alien Worlds. How do I get started? So kind of a easy get started video.
Sounds great.
And,
looking forward to it.
Yeah, and the video and the interview that we want to do of you, that will be just a 30-minute interview to break down into this fractal alien world, and that would be an interview of Duan Philippi. That's 4 topics. Who is Duan, from where he came, how he came to EOS. Then we break down into the why, the how, the what, and that will be a video very it's not only marketing, that will be a breakdown, but at the same time it's a marketing, we can say, and that's a good visibility. And but that will be published on August 23rd, so that will be into the week of 15 August that I do the interviews. So I will send to you offline. I will send you some proposals, and the goal is to co-host with Dancing Joy this one, because I mean it's about Fractally, and Dancing Joy is involved into that since a while now. He was the first to advocate Fractally on the fireside chat. I remember this long convo, and we have the big fireside chat that we have never had. 7 hours. I was not able to join. Sorry, 7 hours impossible. But that was very passionate, and yeah, I want to do that with Dan for sure.
That sounds great, guys.
Thank you.
Yep, sounds great.
Talk to you guys soon.
Thank you, Dan.
Okay.
Yeah.
See you, Dwayne. Thank you.
See you. Thank you. So it's on Monday. Oh, but where is the link?
I'm making it right now.
No, the link for 6 p.m. on Monday. Where is this link to join?
That's a live stream I was showing Dwayne. But
that will be with StreamYard or what?
Wait, hold on. Well, that is with StreamYard. I was just talking to Dwayne about it, and privately. And I don't know
privately, yeah, okay. But I speak about Monday at 6. Okay.
I was trying to get a graphic for a thumbnail of Alien Worlds, but
sometimes I don't understand directly because I am translating into my mind the English.
Oh, right.
I am not English at the base layer, but and I don't speak well. But I want to be sure to have understood. So there is no link for the moment. You are doing a StreamYard on your for open stage, yeah.
Well, because I said we can do it on StreamYard. We can have up to 10 guests.
Yes, StreamYard is good for me.
Yeah, and then I said, let's talk
better than Zoom, huh? Better than Zoom.
And then I said, this is in the open chat.
Oui, yes,
right? See
that is good, yeah.
Okay, and so I was trying to share it with him, but he left before he saw that I shared it, but you stayed around to see it. So now you know where things are at. So Dwayne doesn't even.
I will not miss. That will be on Monday, and in all case, I will ask for the link. Yeah.
Right. Who knows?
I am always like very scared to don't have the link, and at the last moment, I will have for sure.
Well, all I'm saying is that it might be the case that we use a different YouTube channel. I haven't tashed it out with him, so the link might change. Is what I'm saying. So I don't even know. You know what I'm saying? If it doesn't change, I already scheduled one on StreamYard that'll stream to the EOS Open Stage on Facebook, on YouTube, and to my Twitter channel. But we can change that before Monday. I just need to get it. Ask Dwayne what he wants to do, but he left the group before. And I just did this as a suggestion. You know, so we don't have time to discuss it. We can just go with what's here. But if we have more time to discuss it, then we can change it.
Yeah.
So that was
what I have to organize my YouTube channel with playlist.
Yeah, no, you should because that
no. I say I don't should.
Yeah.
I have to do, but that was not my priority. That was not my priority. But as I am creating MYS, MindWeb YouTube service, there is a service that I want to provide. It's to create playlists. And to create this playlist, I have several possibilities. And I want not to wait until that I have finished my development. I will already create some YouTube playlist. I have not to create a lot of playlists. I have to create a Fractally playlist.
You have so much content. You have so much content to organize it in YouTube playlist.
Yeah. I
if
have
you're already there, you might as well. You know, you can want to make it match what you do in the future, anyways.
Yeah, and I have the mind maps also that points to the YouTube. That's nice, but I don't ask to the people to go into the mind maps always. So I will organize my channel for sure.
And you know what? You have so much continuous history, just like takes the Latam, the special Latams, just to be able to watch them in sequence, for example, and see the history and progression. If it's too hard to find, then people don't want to go through the work. But if it's just start here and they can just go down the list.
Absolutely. And
you have so much content.
I will have more views also by doing so. I will have more views.
Because people want to specifically follow different things, and that organizes it better from a discovery standpoint of the user.
Yeah, I am also figuring out for the future of the EOS.io Swiss workshops. I have my 15 one in a row on August, and maybe the next step for these workshops could be that, as you said, to have a broadcasting of the YouTube that I am doing, of my channel. I don't know.
Here, you know what I'm thinking, Patrick?
Through yours, EOS Open Stage. That could be nice, yeah.
If we get our WordPress infrastructure and this cookie cutter system to where instead of pushing a YouTube channel, we push a post with an embedded video that initially relies on YouTube, but it easily in the future, if YouTube deplatforms us, we can just switch to DTube or switch to whatever.
Yeah,
so
I understand.
We're not building our SEO dependency on YouTube, but we're creating.
Yeah, I understand you.
Right.
When I have begun my workshops, I was doing with WordPress because my websites are in WordPress also, and I have used a plugin of WordPress to do a live chat and broadcasting of my YouTube. And I was in live. I have experienced in live my workshops, and I was not happy because you have to be on the day that you said. You are maybe disappointed because there are not enough participants, and you have to answer to the question into the chat. That's take a lot of accountability to do all that. And I was thinking, okay, now I will turn my workshop. I will pre-record I record my workshop. I can cut all my bullshit that I say. I can do nice timestampings, nice chapters, and all that. And I am happy with the result at the end, very important, and it is marketable. I am not the guy to do the things live. I am not the good interviewer to do the things live, because I need a good fluency with my English, like Dance Enjoy. I will not be able to do live. So I am better to do breakdown videos. Yeah, that's workshops. I am not the guy to do hot sauce like Dan and all that. It's live, you know. You maybe do, you are good for that, to do live with StreamYard, or Jimmy D with StreamYard and all that. I see you very good for that. And
I used to
I
do
mean,
live pool broadcasting. I used to do competitive matches.
as you did on the 1st of June, when I was there and singing.
Yeah, that was fun.
Nice.
That was so much fun. Actually, you know what made that special is the people who came and participated.
But
And
there
what
was not a
brought-
lot of participants on this day because they have not realized that June 1st, that was June 14, the anniversary of EOS indeed.
But you know, it was fun more than anything, and it was a trial run.
I have a good time. I have a
Yeah.
good time.
And I still have video sections I need to cut out from that, you know, and promote or just even make findable, because they're like an hour-long videos, you know, buried.
I love the functionality of YouTube now. This clip, you can do clips.
Yeah. You
That
like
is
that, huh?
okay. That is okay. It's
Instantly
nice.
change the YouTube headers, you know, and so you can change the description and the title of the video to what you want for the specific.
No,
section.
I love. There is a lot of stuff that we can do, and also WordPress is good integrated with WordProof plugin.
Right. Oh,
yeah,
I have
a nice. I will make you. Okay. Normally, I never unveiled my guest, but
well, what about
Eden? I am so excited of my guest for August 23rd. I will have Daniel Keys of EOS Nation for Pomelo, but that will be when Pomelo will be finished. But that's okay. That will be just after. I have.
That's 4 days after they open up for the grant out. It'd still be funding going on. People can still.
No, August 23rd is
already. August.
Yeah. Okay. I will have the CEO of Europe Chain. The CEO of Europe Chain. That's based on EOS.io. This guy with GDPR and all this stuff. I have him. He has accepted. I hope he don't change of mind, but normally not. I will have Sebastian van der Lans of WordProof. I love him. He's a good guy. I have Tadas. That's okay. I will have Jesse of EOSBiz. Jesse, that would be nice. And I have finally Duan. I will have 7
Who's
video.
The last one?
Huh?
Who was the last one after Jesse?
I have not made the order, but normally I will interview. There is no order in my interviews. All the separate video YouTube interview. So you can see that when you want. That's the cool point. But I will have 7 interviews.
Han, it was Han. You said Han, huh?
My record was 10 interviews in a week. So this time I will have 7 interviews in a week, each day.
Okay, because see, here's the deal. Let me explain something to you. I have been selectively just taking things and posting them just because I'm trying to do it at a timely manner. But what I started realizing is I want to go back through and post a lot of videos in EOS Index, for example. So I looked at doing it manually and how much time it takes me. Then I said, you know what? I'm just going to buy this plugin. This is a WordPress YouTube plugin scraper, and it can just pull the content in for me automatically. So now I'm like shopping for plugins and I don't even know which one to use. There's so many options. But the thing is if I know you're coming out with playlists tomorrow, I'm not going to want to even deal with your data because I'll have to you know what I'm saying? It'll resort to the URLs.
No.
But what I'm going to do at the basic level is put all your links to all your because I haven't even gotten around to promoting MindWeb, you know, in your YouTube channels. And just in the different kinds of topical content. But it's like, ideally, I'd like to have every single video you publish with a separate post on EOS Index, and same with everything EOS, and same with EOS Nation BP, and same with, I could hire people to do that and give them all sorts of jobs and tokenize it or donate it. But why would I do that when I can just automate?
No, but
Doug. So you get what I'm saying? So I'm just even though I know what I want to do, I don't even know what the best way about doing it.
Doug. How I want to say that? Indeed, everyone can do what he wants, and then at a point you can say, I want to host that with you, or we can do a video together. That has to come naturally. For the moment, that was not presenting because I have not seen yet how. That will only come when I see, or you also.
Yeah,
maybe
exactly.
Maybe I don't see that something that you are seeing. Maybe it's like with Jesse Jaffe. I was not able to find a new plan, a plan C, to do something with him. And he said to me, Patrick, that's not tragic. For the moment, I have no time and I have not place to do something. That doesn't mean that I don't like to be connected with you, but for the moment, I have other things to do. And I say, okay, fine, okay. I said, okay, fine, but in me, I was like, we can do something together. Because I would love to do something. And,
well,
and today, you know what? Today came to me an idea. I said to me, Patrick, you have some funds in Pomelo. And you have some funds in Eden, Delegate. And I said to me, I want to collaborate with the other circles. So I said, okay, I will say to Jesse, I will give you 500 euros for EOSBs. Like a sponsor. And he say, oh, thank you. From his heart directly. 1 second after I was written, he has answered me 1 second after. So that means it's from the heart, not from the brain for sure. So he has said, yes. And I stated to him, okay, do a tweet. I do also a tweet. And I sponsor him. It's like Eden Fractal. I want to sponsor them. I am a sponsor. And there is no bad feeling to use my funds of Pomelo, because all the funds that I receive from Pomelo donors, I don't pay myself. I use those funds to pay the service of EOSBs when there is translation, or pay when someone has a good project. Maybe tomorrow I will give you 500 EOS also for EOS Open Stage. Why not? Because I see, there is a good potential there. And why we don't sustain us between us? Why we wait always on ENF to fund us, or on a big organization to fund us? Why we don't help us between us? By making so, you will make EOS circulate more.
I actually agree with a lot with what you're saying, but I think the concern is that people don't realize how much work is put in and what the compensation, like if you actually thought about what is your fair value market for your skill sets and how much time you put into the ecosystem, if you were to build that out at a hourly rate and convert that into EOS, I would guess, Patrick, and I'm just going to guess, that your compensation through all the Pomelo funding or all the different kinds of sources doesn't really match what your fair market value is.
I know.
Here's a point. Despite that, you might not even touch the Pomelo fund to pay yourself back for all the work you've done. And you'll go even farther, okay, to donate that to someone else to support their efforts. But here's the catch.
No.
You know what I'm saying is that
I understand what you said.
Quid pro quo thing where the people don't really, it's a bookkeeping problem. You get what I'm saying?
But by giving 500 EOS to EOSBs, I make something very smart, because it's not just giving 500 EOS to Jesse Jaffe. He's giving 500 EOS into the pool of the bees, into the treasury of the bees. To do more marketing, we have to be an army. We have to be an army. And I want to help Jesse. I want to help Doug. I want to help Dan Sinjoy. I am not doing that for MindWeb.
Well, you know what I want to know is how this.
I want that we work together.
Well, let me ask you this question.
No, collaborate together.
I want to ask you a question about collaboration. This is of interest to me because Dwayne caught this, and I don't know if you caught this. When he said he wants to know exactly like how the ENF goes about solving these problems with language translation, and how if you caught the fact that they're using WPML for their Korean and Chinese localized versions of WordPress pages for translation. And I'm getting feedback directly from Eden, China over the low quality of translation. And I'm going, whoa, wait a second. Is the EOS network site itself being translated by the bees? Or is it just being translated by the marketing, right? That the Chinese Eden members are complaining to me about directly that I have my arms, like, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news or whatever, but I'm just saying there's something more into this that I think meets the eye. And it's sort of like, I keep trying to, because, here's some other interesting things. It's like, I often find myself handing over tools to Ryan and Jesse through the meetings that we have that are freely.
I saw your meeting of June 8th.
Right.
I saw your meeting of June 8th.
It's interesting because I'm sitting here watching this, like, where is this all going? What's really going on? And I don't really know. And I'm curious because I fully support the Translate Me efforts, but I'm also looking at what other kinds of ways are there to do things. And is this the best way? And is it okay, like you said, to pursue more than one way, and it's all very just fascinating to me. And what I'm seeing is there's more and more technologies that are leapfrogging. There's more and more.
I have a meeting with Mark Scheer last week about Pomelo season 3. He would know from me if we can run a pitch for ETF, for Translate Me, for MindWeb. I have a discussion with Mark Scheer 1 week ago, and I showed him my MindWeb, my Pomelo grant updated, and he said to me, but wait a moment, you are doing what he's doing Translate Me with MindWeb translation service and all this stuff. And I said, and what? I am doing what I want. I don't need to ask the permission to anyone. I do what I think is good. He was just stopped on what I have wrote, but he don't read more than just maybe 2 lines. If he had take time to read more, he would understand that I am to create indeed a MTS, a package using different APIs, not only the Translate Me API.
Right.
And I saw your discussion with Jesse Jaffe and Ryan L. Lloyd on June 8th. On June 8th, you have a discussion. And Jesse was stating he's not interested about using the token of Translate Me network.
Right.
And I saw Ryan not so happy when you see the eyes and the body language. He was like not so happy because the incentive to go into EOS for Ryan L. Lloyd, there were on Neo blockchain before.
Right.
He want to go into EOS and trying to do some gamification with a token. But this token, I don't see the goal of this token. Only I see a goal of this token. It's a utility token to go on their Translate Me network marketplace, where there are, that's what they say, they have 11,000 translators. And these 11,000 translators, to be accepted, they have to fulfill some tests to claim that they are good translators. And I was asking with Jesse, do you agree that we have to first clean the English automatic of YouTube and doing a good English first? And then when the good English is made, translated, we can go to other language. And he said, yes, I want to do human validation first, and then enrich the AI models. And I am of the same opinion. If I have to translate something, I will always send to the bees, because Jesse do a great job with the bees. that he has selected. And then I will use the matching to enrich the model, not the inverse. That's my point on that. But I am not married with Translate Me Network. They have made an API. I don't know what, the good point, Ravnit, the Indian tech guy. I don't know what they use behind to translate. Are they using the Google API? That could be, I don't know. Because the Translate Me API, REST API service that I use, I cannot go behind the code. I have not access to the code. I cannot say if this is a Google API or whatever. I don't know. You know? And also they are claiming on their website that they are supporting 20 languages. But indeed, they are not supporting 20 languages. And they have some translation problems. So I am not so okay when you are doing a website and claiming on your website that you have 20 languages supported, and indeed there are maybe 10 or, you know, it's like lying. It's not really the case. For the customer, they can, let's say you are a new customer of Translate Me, and you are making trust when you see the website. You could be disappointed. So, but I continue the collaboration with Translate Me, and I will have a call with Ryan. I will explain him. Voilà my Pomelo season 3. Here it's what I am doing, and he will say, "Oh, you are doing the same." I am not doing the same. Come on, I am doing my stuff, but that's nothing to do with their Translate Me marketplace. So, you know, and maybe Jesse, he will use what he wants to use. So there are no obligations. So I have to go. And yeah, thank you for the eosopenStage.org, the eosindex.org. It's eosindex.org that you have, or it's index? Yeah.
I haven't. I want to focus on that more.
Something that I have forget to tell you about the agenda, calendar, meeting. You want to do calendar meetings and all this stuff.
Yeah. There should be a centralized calendar so someone could just go, what's going on?
And there is EOS Authority news. Okay. When you go on eosauthority.com, they have made a calendar for all the meetings that are going during the year. And that was a lot of use, and suddenly that was no more use. Events on the top here, yeah. Voilà. You see who is the number one? EOS Nation with 11 events. And when you click EOS Nation, and you scroll, who has made the 11 EOS Nation event? That's me.
Yeah.
That's Patrick. So since there are also some EOS Nation event for sure, but the majority of the event that was made by me, because I was an EOS Nation ambassador since October 2018.
So what I'm saying is, like, there's no methodology to this in terms of RSS feeds or syndication. Like,
but Doug, sorry, Doug.
I'm just wondering.
You cannot expect from anyone to have a methodology, because each person will do his website. Each person wants to be the new platform. It's for this reason I have created. You will say, yeah, Patrick, I know.
So how does
that's
this work?
the reason why I have created mine.
How does this work? Can anyone post an event here, or do you have to log in with your?
No more
Guys,
people are using
I just want to jump in. I've been enjoying the conversation, but I have to go, so I'm going to stop recording. I just made Patrick host, and yeah, thanks so much. It's great seeing you. Thanks for the great conversation. Yeah, please carry on. Thanks.
Bye.
Patrick post.
Yeah.
Patrick
Hey,
post.
you know what? I want to go. I'm gonna go eat, man. I'm gonna go
I
eat.
have not understood anything. Oh, Patrick post.
Okay.
Where's Patrick post? Sorry,
Cool,
Dan.
thanks,
I have
guys.
not.
I'll-
I have not understood what you say. Sorry, my English is
Oh,
very limited.
Sorry if I spoke too fast. I was just saying I have to go. I'm going to stop the recording, and thank you very much for the great conversation. And I'll talk to you soon.
Ah, okay. Sorry, I have not
Okay.
understood. Okay.
All good. Thank you. See you later.
See you, Dan.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
Hey,
you.
hey, Patrick, I'm gonna head out too. I'm hungry.
Huh?
I said I want to go. I'm hungry. I want to go eat something.
Yeah, go, go eat. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I have to go also.
Anyways,
My wife is.
we don't have enough. We don't have enough talks like this, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of good dialogue that doesn't have a chance always to circulate unless
We will speak again. I know that.
Oh yeah.
I know
Oh, of course. But I'm just saying the whole group today was good. It was good. You know what I'm saying?
That was for me. That was a very difficult week. The last week, there was a lot of things happening, and
Oh man.
no, generally speaking, there was a
I
lot
know.
of bullshit everywhere, and I was like to refocus, and I have shared with you some decision that I have made, etc. I was not